Can we factor the track art into this?
No, because some don't have art. Like Sea Salt Ice Cream doesn't have official art. Slingshot, Blood on Broken Glass, Olympus Mons, I Am All of Mewtwo, Alive, EXO, Pokemon Digimon mashup, Stronger Together. I mean, Stronger Together has the remaster art, but that doesn't really count. What else doesn't have art? Those You Have Failed This City. Those all don't have art.
Can I comment on the art anyway?
Yes, you can. Feel free to comment. Well, you can talk about the art.
Okay.
I guess
Okay.
I'll just start. So, some of you may have just watched the video where I ranked all these tracks in terms of how much I like them. We're not doing that. We're gonna... This tier list isn't complete, I don't think. It stops at God's hand. Son of a bitch. I'm gonna scream.
But
Um,
but we'll do it anyway.
I'm gonna just see if I can find another one. I'm just gonna, just open a different one. This one's by Dino27. I know that person. Please tell me this has everything. Yes, okay, this version of the tier list has everything. It also has the remastered. This also has Goku vs. Superman 1 and 2, I think. Okay. So, that was a wise choice on my part to not look at the tier list before I start recording. Another example of Australian intelligence.
Hell yeah.
So this tier list, as I type everything out, is a tier list of Death Battle tracks. As you might have gathered from the fact that I said Death Battle tracks. And we are going to be ranking them. Not in terms of how much we like them, because one, I've already got a video on that you can go watch. And two, there's no way Don and I would agree on basically anything. Because music taste is so subjective.
Yeah, that's true. We do hate each other, and
Yeah.
we would never agree on anything purely on principle.
Yeah, I mean, I disagree with what you just said, just because I don't want to.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly, yeah. I don't even think your name's Don. I disagree with that. I think your name is probably Donovan.
I don't even think you're actually a pumpkin. I don't think that's real.
How dare you? Bringing in racism, wow. Alright, so this is a tier list of the names. We're not going to include track art, because some songs, as like the ones I fucking mentioned, do not have official art. I know the Sea Salt Ice Cream has like a video with art on it, but that is not official art. If you look, it's actually credited to someone else. And we can comment on the art, but that's not all we're focusing on. We're going to focus on the names. We have the names we think are great, the names we think are good, the names we think are just funny, the boring ones, the bad ones, and the ones that we just don't get. Which is going to be a sign of whether we're smart or not, how many go in there. So, I guess we'll start. Have you got the tier list up on your side?
Yeah, it starts with 100%, right?
Yes, I was going to ask if you could figure out what's what by the name, but you probably already know most of these, so we start with 100%.
There's a couple of them I don't immediately
We
recognize.
start with 100%. I think it's a little bland. I get what it's going for, because it's obviously Mob explodes when he reaches 100%. The name of his like original OP was 99, which is one below 100.
Yeah, banger opening, by the way.
I love 99. Yeah. We have the whole like One Punch Man's like 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats sort of things that kind of plays into it, but that's a real stretch to get Tatsumaki at all in the name. I just think
because that whole thing doesn't really have anything
it's
this whole title doesn't have anything to do with Tatsumaki specifically.
Yeah. Was there a better name? We're not here to discuss that because obviously you can put a lot of thought into it. I think just anything to do with Espers would have been a bit bland, but I wouldn't call it like bad. I think 100% is a pretty bad name. I'm just going to be honest. I think it's not good because it's nothing to do with Tatsumaki in there, like explicitly. In fact, even if you look at the track art, it's Mob's 100% with lightning around it, which represents Mob's feet in the episode. Nothing to do with Tatsumaki. She doesn't do anything with lightning.
Yeah, she's a tornado, not lightning. Two different weather phenomena.
Yeah, she's Tatsumaki, not Raijin. So, I think I gotta put it in bad. I gotta put it in bad because it's unfortunate because I do like the track. Um,
Yeah.
and we go into Alive. I didn't even get like your opinion. What was your opinion on it?
Um, I guess I get like the vibe it's going for, but when I think of Goku versus Superman, Alive is just not. It's just not what comes to mind.
Yeah. Like is it like a joke on how like they die and come back, or the fact that Goku died canonically before this fight began, so he's alive again?
Like I had to imagine maybe some extent of it is like Goku's getting to go all out in a fight and Superman's getting to like cut loose, so maybe they feel alive in this battle or whatever,
That doesn't really fit when you like watch the
but
episode, because Superman's just fucking annoyed.
yeah.
He's just like, could you fucking stop, please? Can you like just not? You're just too much, you know?
He's like, "Really? We're doing this again?"
Yeah,
Okay.
I think I gotta put it in. I feel like question mark, because like I at least understand what 100% is going for. Alive feels like it was a track that Brandon had already done, and then Death Battle was like, can you like put this for this? And he was like, yeah, okay. Or maybe like
Yeah.
he didn't like know what the matchup was or something. Like it's yeah. I don't get it. American Phantom.
That is such an uninspired
It's
name.
just boring. It's not bad because like it doesn't like ignore a character or anything. It's just that's so lame.
American Dragon, Danny Phantom, smush them together.
It,
American
it
Phantom.
should have been Danny Dragon. That would have been funny.
Now the track art goes kind of hard.
The track art's cool. It's like
I like
the
that.
big effect ball and the ghost and dragon on either side.
Yeah, that looks cool, but it just does not. I don't know that like I especially because so many like versus trailers these days will have a name associated with it that's like a. I guess it's transcended just being the track name and more so I guess just being like a subtext for the battle itself. The same way that you'll see like for a lot of Japanese movies, you'll have like the main title and then like the fucking descriptor of it.
Yeah,
Uh,
or not dragon, or Japanese episodes of anime where the title is just what happens
yeah.
in the episode.
Yeah, where it's like it's I don't know. In terms of like communication, I guess it does get across what this matchup is.
You're not gonna get
If you just heard
confused.
American Phantom, you might be able to put it together, but at the same time, it's just I don't, it's not very creative. I'd
Yeah.
like something a little
Especially
better
because,
than
like,
that.
America, you can get what it is if you know the matchup, but I also feel like just American Phantom, someone might not immediately get, oh, Jake Long, American Dragon. Especially because, like, he is half
Mhm.
Chinese, and, like, so he's only half American, if we're being honest. So
Yeah.
it's just boring. Apex of Doom. Um, a bit
I assume this
uninspired.
is Lex Doom.
Yes, this is Lex Luthor versus Doctor Doom. Doom, obviously represented by the word Doom, and Apex, I think, is a Lex Luthor thing. I'm trying to remember. Is that like the form was called like Apex Lex or something like that?
Because his name is Apexander Luther.
Yeah, his name is Apexander Luthor. I'm gonna quickly like just Google it, because I want to make sure I'm not saying something that's wrong here. Unlike my opinions, which are all factually true. So I'm pretty sure it's because Apex Lex is a thing.
I hear goblins rummaging in the wall.
Yes, Apex Lex, a temporary Martian hybrid form of Luthor's. So
Okay. I mean, that feels like a.
it's such a specific.
I don't know. That feels like a weird thing to pull for the track name to represent Lex Luthor as a whole, right?
Like it's like if you had a Goku track, but it represents false Super Saiyan in the title.
Yeah, that's a little
I guess
odd.
it could be like because a Legion of Doom, which Lex is a part of and founder sometimes, but that feels like a bit of a stretch, I think.
I'm also not sure what the track art is supposed to be,
Oh,
at
it's
least
like
from what I'm
it's
looking
like
at on the
Doctor
tier list
Doom's
here.
hand showing up like a Lex-related symbol. I think it's not great.
I just don't know. I don't recognize the symbol. I'm not sure what it's supposed to be. Maybe that's like the LexCorp logo.
No, I don't think it is. I think it's like it's probably a hybrid logo, right?
Mm.
Actually, no. I think that's the Legion of Doom logo.
Um, let's see.
Like overlaid on top of
Legion.
the Earth. Because like there is like their Earth is on his hand behind it.
That is
That's
definitely the Legion of Doom logo.
that's a bit stupid. That's a little bit stupid because it's basically like Doom going, "Oh yeah, I'll just crush this easily." Everything
that's
about
a little
this
odd.
name and art just kind of represents Doom kind of slapped here.
Yeah,
Would we call that bad or just boring?
I think it's just a little boring, honestly.
Yeah. Appetite for Greed. So they did a major funny because DDD's hammer is farting twice.
I'd be lying if I said it didn't get a little bit of a chuckle out of me.
You know
But
what would be
like,
great if they turn like the cloud around the Death Battle logo into a fart cloud.
I understand where appetite for greed comes from, but if you've already got greed there, you could just throw gluttony in there.
Yeah, I feel like this is like a very general name. Like there's so many characters this could apply to. Like this would work for Annihilus versus Laughley's. Because they're both greedy and look at their fucking mouths. They scran everything they see, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just kind of boring. Like it doesn't really.
Yeah, I think that's a solid boring tier.
Yeah, I'm not ranking anything in the tiers. I'm just gonna put them in order they show up. A Strange Fate.
Yeah.
This is obviously just taking Strange and Fate and also representing the amalgam character Doctor Strange Fate, who is
yeah, and then I think just the term "a strange fate" is it makes sense. It's simple, it's clean, it's to the point,
Yeah.
communicates the matchup
The
well.
track art is kind of weird because it just looks off.
Yeah,
Like I get it. It's the helmet of fate, the cloak of levitation in front of the window of the Sanctum Sanctorum, but like that's I'm gonna put that in good. I think that's just a good basic name. It's skirting close to boring, but there is the double reference and it kind of works. It's if someone put that in boring, I would absolutely understand why they would though.
yeah.
Boulder Dash, that's fun.
Really like Balderdash.
I think that's funny.
Yeah, because for those in the audience who don't know, the term balderdash refers to speech that is unintelligible or doesn't make sense, which is much like how Popeye's usual like mushmouth manner of speech is, and it also incorporates bald because Saitama's bald.
I also like the artwork of just One Punch Can. I find that makes me laugh. One Punch Can. As the guy who made One Pun Man, I can appreciate a pun like that.
One Punch Can does seem like a character you'd fucking come up with.
The One Punch Can. He doesn't kill you in one punch. It just takes one punch to crack him open.
It just punches you once.
Did I put that in funny?
It's just a fist in a can. You open it up and you just get punched in the mouth.
Is that funny or great? I'm not sure. I think it fits in both.
I think that's great. I love Bald. I love that as I think it's clever.
Let's go the other way with Battle at the Zoo. Bad. Just bad.
This is like the most fucking notoriously bad track name.
Yeah,
like
it's literally just
it's
a
just
description
so
of what happens, and it doesn't really fit either character when you think about it out of.
This is more like what we were describing with anime episodes, how it'll just be like, fucking this time on Dragon Ball Z, Son Goku dies, passing of a brave warrior.
Find out what happens next time.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I fucking wonder. But it's also, get it? Because it's a bat and a panther. Get it? Those are animals.
Yeah,
like, well, see,
how
the
many
weird thing
fucking
is,
times are you gonna go to the zoo to look at a bat?
I don't think I've seen... Like, I've seen leopards before at zoos, and I think I've seen mountain lions. I don't know that I've seen a panther at a zoo. I'm sure that it does exist, but...
If I wanted to see a bat, I'd just go outside at night. I'll see a couple bats. It's bad. It's outright bad. Beyond 2099.
Yeah.
That's so boring.
Another pretty uncreative one.
It's like a Strange Fate, but instead of like it meaning something on its own or having at least multiple references, it's literally just it's Batman Beyond, and it's the Spider-Man of the year 2099, and the track art is barely represents Miguel because that's just a normal fucking web.
Yeah.
And like it's kind of hard
Yeah,
to tell
not-
that's one of
not
Terry's.
loving it.
It's hard to tell it's one of Terry's batarangs from a distance.
Just kind of looks like a fucked up M.
Yeah. This is Megatron versus Spider-Man from that one Marvel comic where they fight.
I only learned recently that what the fuck that Zoids had a Spider-Man crossover.
I have to ask, did this involve Japanese Spider-Man and Leopardon?
I don't think so. I think there was just a run of Zoids Marvel comics in the 80s, and then Spider-Man was there.
That's dumb, but I guess it makes sense. Bizarre Stars. I've not held back the fact that I do not like this name at all. Like, not one bit.
Yeah, not crazy about it. Like,
I'll just say it again.
I can understand if you just couldn't come up with anything else. But...
If you're gonna mesh the names, just go with Fist of the Joestar. Like, that at least flows
yeah,
off the tongue.
Yeah,
and
that's
like,
a lot
it's kind
better.
of a pun on Fist of the North Star. Joestar represents Jotaro better than just the word bizarre and the word star. Like,
or honestly, just the word Stardust.
Yeah, I said in my ranking that nowadays I think it would be called Starstruck. I think that's the name they'd probably go with. Cause
that's also pretty good.
Struck, like a strike, star represents both, and the fact that like whenever someone meets Jotaro after Pathway, they're like, "Holy shit, it's Jotaro," assuming they know him. And Kenshiro is the kind of guy.
Or they just go, "That dude's fucking huge."
People see Kenshiro, they go, "Oh shit, look at that guy." So it just kind of fits.
Anytime these guys walk past, it's just like, "Holy shit, he's hot."
Yeah, like so. If Starstruck is I think a really good name. And I think Fist of the Joestar, as simple as it is also just flows off the tongue better. Bizarre Stars, it doesn't even sound good to say.
I think it's funny the difference, though, that whenever someone says, "Holy shit, look at Kenshiro," he just keeps walking. Whenever someone goes, "Oh my god, it's Jotaro, look how cool he is," he's like, "Shut the fuck up, oh my god."
Yeah, that's true. So I just want to put Bizarre Stars in bad. It's not... It's technically
Fair.
Probably more fitting and boring, but I just don't like... And I don't like the artwork either.
Yeah, that's fair. I think it's what the fuck is he punching through?
Kenshiro's shoulder pad.
Fucking why his shoulder pad?
Because it's not like he wears much else. He's got shoulder pads, some strap on his body he calls a shirt, and pants. And he's not gonna have it punching through the pants. As funny as
you could have had like the fucking you could have had the scars and then have one of the scars in the constellation be the Joestar birthmark.
I guess Bizarre Stars also fits like the big tipper on Kenshiro's chest, but the word star would do that no matter which name you go with.
Yeah.
Yeah. Blood Gulch Bedlam. Should have been called Purple. It should have been called Purple. And that's not my purple bias. I just think that would have been a really funny name.
That would have been a really funny name.
I think Blood Gulch Bedlam is it's okay.
Yeah, every time I think of like a theme for Red versus Blue, I always just think the roses are red, violets are blue.
Yeah, I get it. It is like a big uproarious scene, a bedlam that takes place in Blood Gulch.
This one does feel like another one that's just kind of describing what happens.
Yeah, this is like if instead of Alive and Super, Goku vs Superman 2 and 3's names were Guy Gets Annoyed by Other Guy and Friendly Spar.
Yeah.
I'm glad I skipped down on the cricket game I was watching because it's been rained out for some time now. Alright, that's going in boring. Blood Moon.
Yep.
Oh, we didn't talk about the art, but it's literally just the fucking energy sword going through a traffic cone, which is funny. I'll give it that.
Yeah.
But if that was like anything other than a traffic cone, you probably wouldn't be able to tell this was red versus blue unless you correlated the colors on the back with that. But
I don't even remember what the traffic cone's a reference to.
Oh, Griff is like known to sometimes just hit people with traffic cones. That's his meme weapon. Technically, the Griff shot would work better here, but
It could just be because it's been how long has it been? I think it's been somewhere around like 6 years since I watched through Red versus Blue.
Well, I know it's
So
because of that
it's
because
probably just not very
someone
fresh in my
asked me to do
memory.
Griff versus Yang, and I was going to have him just kill her with a traffic cone, but I just never got around to it. So, yeah. Blood Moon, how good is that? I like how, despite the track having Brandon scream Blood Moon out, it's literally just like written normally, so it's like Blood Moon. Like, yeah, oh look at that, Blood Moon.
Uh, yeah, I mean, it makes
I
sense,
think
I
it's
think.
alright. It's good. I wouldn't call it boring, because like with
Yeah.
werewolves, the moon is a big deal. It's just kind of, yeah, it's okay. It's alright. It's decent. Chaos Unraveled. It's kind of funny.
I get it, but at the same
It's
time,
not great, but
it like
it's a pun.
I prefer something a little more clever. I think it works, but
The track art is so weird. Like, it's well
hold on,
made, but the art is literally just the scissor blades in the ground and some two identical Chaos Emeralds or one emerald cut in half. It's hard to tell from this distance. In front of, like, on the moon in front of Earth. Like, I get it.
honestly, I think a cool track name, as much as it is just another like throwing two things together, I am ambiguous.
Well,
Because I am all of me
can you actually,
is
like,
the
tell me what the track name you had was? I don't, stop being so ambiguous about it. What is it?
yeah, okay, buddy.
It took
Ambiguous
you-
is a fucking banger opening though. Kill la Kill opening 2 is so good.
It took you a bit to process that, but
Yeah, I am all of me cross ambiguous.
so you
I
already
am
did
ambiguous.
that though. So I am all of Mewtwo.
Yeah, but I am all of me too. Well, we'll get there.
We will get there. I think Chaos Unraveled, the highest you could put it, is funny. I don't think it's that good.
Yeah,
Um,
no.
uh,
I'm not that crazy about the matchup even. But that's a different discussion.
no, I don't like the matchup. Wait, isn't Unravel spelled with two L's, or is that just British English? Or actual English?
That's British English. Well, actually, a lot of British spellings of words as they currently exist were changed from the original spellings. A lot of the spellings that we have in American English / just other English is how it's supposed to be spelled.
Yeah, but I'd rather.
A lot
just
of the
have
time, it
everyone-
would come from like
I think it'd be funny if everyone
from
spoke
from
English.
England changing the spelling, and then the colonies and stuff just not picking it up.
I think Chaos Unraveled goes in. Probably in boring. It's amusing, but I don't think it's funny enough to go. Chorus of Carnage. I'm not sure what the chorus refers to here. Like, I get it's because Elfin Lied, Elf Song, chorus, but like that's a bit of a stretch, I think.
See, the crazy thing is, every time I say I really don't like this episode at all, people are like, "Oh, but you gotta at least admit that the track is pretty good." I'm not a fan of Chorus of Carnage. I don't find it that interesting.
I don't think a good track would be
'Cause
enough
it's
to
like-
sway an episode anyway, though.
Yeah, like maybe it's just because my preferences in metal is generally around like new metal stuff like Linkin Park or like System of a Down, and then towards like I guess vanilla metal stuff like Metallica. So stuff that has very like iconic vocals as well. Like I prefer more melodic vocals.
I think
suppose.
like with me, because I do like Chorus of Carnage. People say that to me, and I go, "Yeah," and is that supposed to mean
Yeah.
anything? Like, yeah, okay, I like the track, and the track art, by the way, is literally just Carnage's head with the vectors in the background.
Yeah.
How funny would it have been if there was no vectors?
Also, like, I think the biggest thing holding the episode back is that, like, by its own merits, it's fine. I just fucking hate Carnage and Lucy. I don't like either of them as characters at all.
I think Chorus of Carnage is just a boring name. I get what it's going for, but they literally just have Carnage's name in there, which I get that Let There Be Carnage is like a thing, like a phrase associated with him, and he says it often, but it's just it's stupid. Like, why is Carnage that smug and full of himself? He's like, yeah, let there be carnage. I have to hope
He does
there's,
literally say "Let there be carnage" in Venom too.
I really hope that there's a point in the comic where Venom says "Let there be Venom." It's like, you know what? That sounded really fucking stupid. And I don't know why I said it. It sounded stupid in my head too.
That sounds like something that's probably happened, yeah.
Except they probably would have made it significantly less funny. And that's saying something. I don't think it's a bad name, it's just kind of boring. Like, I get it. It doesn't upset me. Crash and Burn.
Yeah, I think it's... What is Crash and Burn?
Crash vs. Spyro.
Wait, then what the fuck? What is Off Bandicoot, then?
Off Bandicoot is also...
Or Off Bandicoot?
Is also Crash vs. Spyro. Crash vs. Spyro is one of the 4 episodes with 2 tracks.
Oh, okay.
It's Crash Spyro.
Yeah, this video is gonna reveal how fucking little I know about these tracks.
It's Crash Spyro, Goku Superman 2, Bowser Ganon, and Beerus Galaxia.
Okay.
I didn't even know it was sea salt ice cream.
Crash and Burn, I think, is fun because it's like a Strange Fate. It's an actual phrase. It works in both of them. I think it works. It's pretty fun.
Yeah. The track art's not anything special. It is, but I guess it is amusing because it's literally just Crash burning.
Yeah, I think that's kind of funny.
Dangerous Gaze.
It's also like Crash and Bernstein.
Okay, man. Dangerous. I knew they said Dangerous Graze, like a fucking cow. Dangerous Gaze. I get it, right? I get it. But...
I get what it's going for, and I like the track art of the Rinne Sharingan, the
and then
fucking
like third eye.
The Mangekyo, yeah, and then the Jigan eye.
That's clever. I like that. I mean, I guess maybe it's not
like
clever,
how that looks,
but it's just funny. It's good. It's good. Why is it
Yeah.
funny? It's good. It's good art. I like it. The name is kind of just like... Is Hiei's gaze dangerous? Like, I know Sasuke's is. I've not seen enough into Yu Yu to know. I know Sasuke can really fuck you up by looking at your phone.
Him fucking activating the eyeball is what gives him, like, the power. He doesn't use it that often. He uses it during, like, his introductory arc, but throughout, like... I can't remember if he uses it throughout Dark Tournament, Black Tape, or Four Kings. He probably does, and I just don't know because I've only seen up to the end of Dark Tournament.
It's not called Powerful Eyes. It's called Dangerous Gaze. Like, the look itself is dangerous, which fits Sasuke. Because if he does look at you, you could just fucking die. But... Because Hiei do that?
Like, I know there's a thing where whenever Hiei's using, like, his fucking... energy restriction technique, if you fucking poke him in the eye, it'll stop, I think.
Yeah, but would you really call being restrained actively, like, a deadly thing to happen? Like, it's what the guy does to you while you're restrained that's deadly. Like, I thought Hiei just sort of sees through illusions and powers up with that eyeball.
Pretty much.
So I guess, like, it's not bad, because, like, I get it, but I think it's a bit, meh. It's kind of whatever. I really like Days of Booster Past. I really like that.
I think that's funny.
Yeah, I think I'd put... It's either in funny or good to me. Probably more in funny just because, like, the word booster is just... my brain's rot on that word.
Boost terrific!
Yeah. And I guess, like, can I really say it's good? How much influence did Cable have in Days of Future Past? I don't actually know how much influence he had in the comic, because I've not read the comic. He might have played a big role. I know that was mostly a Kitty Pryde story.
Hold on, actually.
Onto what?
He's not in the movie, I don't think.
No, he's not in the movie. He didn't appear until Deadpool 2. You know Days of Future Past was a comic first, right? It's about Kitty going back in time.
Yeah, I know about the comic. I'm just
the one where Wolverine famously dies.
I'm just thinking about
shot
it
really hard.
Yeah, the thing is, just I'm sure a casual audience is a little more familiar with the movie.
Yeah.
Let's see. X-Men, Chris Claremont, blah blah blah. Senator Robert Kelly, Charles Xavier, Mystique Brotherhood. I don't think Cable is involved with the Days of Future Past comic.
From what I can tell, he was originally going to appear in the movie, but then just didn't.
I think it's more so just like Days of Future Past is an X-Men thing. He's the time traveling X-Men,
Yeah,
so
it's
it
like
works
heavily
well enough. It's
influenced.
whatever.
Yeah, so I don't know if I can just
Yeah,
say
just don't
it's
think
just
about it.
outright good, but it's funny. It's funny enough. I like it. Devil of the
Yeah.
Night. Boring. So boring.
What the fuck is this supposed to be? Is this
Daredevil versus
Dante
Nightwing.
Bayo?
Dante Bayonetta
What?
doesn't have a track outside of the Brand and Commission one. This is Daredevil Nightwing.
Well, let me
So,
fucking look closer.
Daredevil versus Nightwing. Devil of the Night. Which applies to one of them. Vaguely. This track is really boring.
Fucking, you could have just as easily have called this Stick Off, and it would have been more relevant to both characters.
Yeah. There is a Branding Ed's commission track for Dante Bayonetta. I believe it's called Dance with the Devil, which fits really well. Um,
That's fun. Yeah.
Devil of the Night though is like, yes, Daredevil does vaguely have a devil motif going on, which is obviously like somewhat symbolic and has a lot of meaning because he is a character who is Christian. And Nightwing
He's Christian. He's in Hell's Kitchen. He's a daredevil.
Nightwing does do stuff at night, and you know Nightwing does have the word night in it. But
That's
this
true.
name would have been just as creative if it was called Dare the Wing. But that would have been funny.
Yeah. That would have been pretty funny.
Yeah. Or daring to wing it. Which that would at least mean
You know,
something.
no, you know what would be funnier? You know what would be so much funnier?
What?
Wing Me to Life.
Yeah.
I don't know if you get it, but to explain for the audience, Nightwing, Wing, and then the song Bring Me to Life by Evanescence, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure is used during the training montage of the Ben Affleck Daredevil movie.
I get it. I get it. I know the song too.
I think that's the scene that it's used in,
I just
which is so weird.
they could have easily just like gone with like Hell's something.
I think Wing Me to Life is funnier.
Wing Me to Life is funny. I'm just like there's like many better options. They could have fucking called it Legally Distinct, and that would have been funny. Because, you know, Daredevil, lawyer, Nightwing is legally distinct from Robin, technically.
Yeah?
They could have just, and they are very similar, so but they're legally distinct from one another. That would have been amusing, at least. Devil of the Night is not only boring, I think it's just bad. Because it's like if A Strange Fate didn't mean anything, or if Crash and Burn didn't mean anything.
They could have called it Stick Measuring Contest.
Like, it's like if A Strange Fate was instead called Strangely Fateful. Or A Fate That Is Strange. Yeah. They could have called it Staff's Kitchen.
They could have.
Draconic Robotics.
I get that they kind of have a similar sound to them, but I'm not crazy about that name. I think the term Draken X Machina could have been cool.
That would have been cool. They're not dragons, though. I get it. Dragonzord, Kiryu does have Ryu in it. They're not dragons.
Yeah.
By any stretch of the imagination. I've done a lot of research on what's considered a dragon. In no mythology I find is a dragon a tall, bipedal, vaguely reptilian creature that closely resembles a dinosaur. They're often serpentine. Dragons are often serpentine. That is what defines a dragon. Before, like, Smaug and stuff, and like Zmei Goridik and stuff like that redefine sort of what a dragon is. Draconic Robotics is just like
Fucking.
this could also apply to like
what-
Mecha King Ghidorah versus that one like dragon thing, like that serpent thing from Power Rangers. You probably know what it is.
Serpentera.
Yeah, that would also fit the name Draconic Robotics more accurately too.
Yeah, Serpentera. I had to fucking think for a second.
That would have fit. That this name would also fit Ridley versus Beast Wars Megatron. and it would make just as much sense.
Fucking this guy's Japanese name is Guardian Beast Dragon Caesar.
Yeah. Yeah. The Sentai one
That
is
goes
just
kind of
called
hard.
Dragon Caesar. Actually, I'm wondering if you could do Guardian Beast Dragon Caesar versus King Caesar. Just thinking. But because I mean, they are both robots, kind of. King Caesar's a cyborg. A cyborg god.
I think Dragon X Machina still works, just given that at least Dragon's in the name.
Yeah.
Because technically, Kiryu's a cyborg.
Yeah, he's a cyborg. Not even technically, like, he just is.
Well, it's just like I don't know how you would define a cyborg as a living thing that's been augmented with robotics, but this is technically a dead thing that's augmented with robotics.
I would call a cyborg something that is both biological and technological, but wasn't always that way.
What is the definition of a cyborg?
That's a good question.
A fictional or hypothetical person whose body is
Okay,
physically
so I guess neither of them are
enhanced.
cyborgs by that definition.
Yeah.
Wait, physically enhanced? That doesn't even specify technology. So, like, Deadpool's a cyborg by that description.
I mean, enhanced biotechnology. Hold on, I
Okay.
didn't read all
Well,
of
that
it.
also- that still
Cyborg
fit-
definition.
That still
Whose
makes
physical
Dead-
abilities are extended beyond normal human limitations by mechanical elements built into the body.
Okay, thank you. Because otherwise, Deadpool would have still counted as a cyborg.
Yeah. But
So,
no,
like-
he is not.
No, technically, he's
But
not.
Kamen Rider is. Well,
Yeah.
Kamen Rider Ichigo, at least.
I
Not
mean,
all of them are.
Actually, a lot of the Showa ones I think are cyborgs. Like I know.
Most of the show ones are cyborgs.
Like, I
Even
know
Rider
this-
Man, who's not technically a Kamen Rider, is still a cyborg.
Yeah. Technically, fucking Juri from Street Fighter is a cyborg.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's
She's got-
true.
she's got the feng shui engine in her eye, or as her eye. Anyway, Draconic Robotics. I would say that is super generic's my problem. It's super generic. Like, at least
Yeah.
with Dangerous Gaze, yes, you can come up with other characters who attack you with their eyeballs, but at least there is, like, it's not like they're shooting from there. Like, it's specifically the gaze that is deadly in the case of, like, Sasuke. It's not like he's shooting something out of his eye. It's the fact that he's looking at you that is dangerous, you know? So, fine. But, in this case, it's like anything that is mechanical and vaguely reptilian would fit just as well. Like, Grimlock versus Q Rex would also fit this. Or, like, you know the Robo Sapien T-Rex? You remember Robo Sapien? whatever it was called?
Yes, yeah.
That
I
thing,
had one actually.
I never owned one. I owned a little one of the mini version of the Sapien, but not the T-Rex. That thing
Mhm.
versus the Venom T-Rex mech from Lego is about as much Draconic Robotics as Kiryu versus Dragonzord. Let's make that a thing. Robo Sapien T-Rex versus Mecha Venom T-Rex. There's got to be a name for the Robo Sapien T-Rex, right?
That's gonna be our next battle.
Roboraptor X. Roboraptor X. So it's a raptor, but also a T-Rex. Sure,
Mhm.
mate. So Roboraptor X versus the Venom T-Rex, which is a mech in the Lego set. Not the comic book one, the toy one, the Lego one, because it has
Mhm.
it has literally got like levers on it. Yeah.
Oh, weird.
The Venomosaurus ambush versus Roboraptor X. Make it happen, fellas. It has a tongue too. Like, it's a robot with a tongue. That's so odd. So Draconic Robotics, I think, is just bad. Elements of alchemy.
Yeah.
Kind of bland.
Alchemy is elements, I guess, but
yeah, I don't think it's bad, right? Because while it is still generic in the same way Draconic Robotics is, you're honestly not gonna find many matchups between an alchemist and an elementalist. I mean, I say that Full Metal Alchemist versus Avatar's got a few other matchups beyond Aang Edward. So I guess it fits. It would fit Zuko versus Roy just as much as it would fit Aang versus Edward.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it is just kind of like so generic.
It all right.
I guess it rolls off the tongue better than like Draconic Robotics.
Mm-hmm.
It is a bit of a verbing the noun.
I don't love it though.
I think it's boring. Speaking of
Yeah.
boring, Emerald Heroes. I guess.
Yeah, they definitely could have done a lot better than that. I don't like, to some extent, I've kind of just like, what's the term I'm looking for? Not like warmed up to it. It's not like Stockholm syndrome, but it's just been around so long and it's been just such like a present thing that it's just like, I hadn't thought about it, but yeah, it's not a very creative name, is it?
No, I like the track, and I get the name, and I think the track art is actually kind of cool. Like the Omnitrix getting ready to do the whole transforming thing, but the symbol is the Green Lantern logo. That's cool. I like that a lot, actually. And I feel like Emerald Heroes, though, is just generic, right? Any hero that is green.
Yeah, Emerald Heroes just doesn't really scream Ben 10 or Green Lantern.
This fits like Rock Lee versus Deku.
Don't say that.
I'm not advocating for
I mean, yeah, you're right, but don't say that.
This fits Robin Hood versus Green Arrow. Probably other matchups if I
Robin Hood didn't always wear green, did he?
No, I don't think always, but like he's associated with green. Ben 10 doesn't always wear green. Doesn't he wear like beige or white in his first design?
Yeah, it's a white shirt with black highlights, and then fuck, are his pants khaki or are they green? Hold on.
Khaki is like a greenish brown. So like either way, I guess it kind of counts. But like
no, khaki is like he does wear green pants. His pants are green.
Arguably, Hulk versus Broly kind of fits this because like Broly is.
They're like a very fucking they're like a shit green, but they're green.
Piccolo versus Martian Manhunter fits this, and if we include Archie, so does Piccolo versus Knuckles.
Yeah. That actually, honestly, that fits better for Piccolo versus Archie Knuckles, doesn't it?
Yeah, because literally Emerald. Like, it's in the name. Right? And...
Yeah.
And, like, Piccolo had a starring role in Dragon Ball Super Heroes, I think it's called.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Superhero.
I like my version better. Like, it fits that better.
Well, you think it is Super Dragon Ball Heroes, which is a very different thing.
I know what Super Dragon Ball Heroes is. That's nothing to do with this.
Not yet.
No, I think there's only 2 tracks. There's technically 3 tracks that connected to Heroes, actually. That's Hedge of Tomorrow, Super, and Dragon Dance. Emerald Heroes, I think, kind of a bad name. Just because like, bad can both mean names that I actively dislike and names that I think are just so generic and non-descriptive that it can fit so many matchups. A lot more than some. Like, I know American Phantom could too, but it's a case where his name is Danny Phantom, right?
Yeah.
Same with Chorus of Carnage.
Well,
his name is just Carnage.
Yeah.
Emerald Heroes, like, they are heroes, and Green Lantern does have, like, a crystal-y ring, I guess. And Ben can turn into that crystal guy.
Diamond Head is his name, thanks.
Isn't there 2 crystal-y guys, but one of them is green?
Yeah, so, there's Chromastone, who's based off of this dude named Sugalite, and he made a planet of crystal people called Petropia, I think. He's a Petrosapien, and then he populated it with artificial crystal beings, which is what Diamond Head is. They're called Crystal Sapien. Petrosapien. Petrosapien is what Chromastone is, and then Crystal Sapien is what. Am I? No, am I getting them mixed up?
You know, don't ask me.
One of them's
How-
a Petrosapien,
how
one
would
of
I
them's a
know?
Crystal Sapien. I'm just fucking thinking to myself, am I getting it? I'm probably getting it mixed up. Someone in the comments will correct me.
This
But
one, right? Emerald
yeah, that's the
Heroes
lore.
would
Is that
also
is
fit-
that Chromastone is Jesus and he created the rock planet full of rock people.
The Emerald Heroes would also fit a matchup for Prison Break Skylanders, so I'm just saying.
Yeah, I had Prison Break. That was one of the Skylanders I did have.
I've got all 3 versions of him that I know exist.
I'm sure you fucking do. You own way too many Skylanders.
Yeah, I got all of Spyro's Adventure, all of Giants except for Light Force Shroom Boom, I think his name is. I got all the Swap
You
Force
own
except for I think, a
50
couple.
Gorgillion
I have-
different
I have all the Trap
Skylanders.
Team
I was gonna call them fucking lifesavers, but that's not
I have
not
all
at
the
all.
Trap Team except Thunderbolt and the guy with the scissors, Chop Shop, I think maybe. And I have. No, honestly,
Chop Chop is the fucking Skellington.
not Chop Chop. I said Chop Shop. I have
They
all,
wouldn't
I
name
have-
him
I have
something
all-
that
I have-
similar,
I-
would
I
they?
have all Chop Shops, including the legendary. You literally just said his name's like the night guy's name is Chop Chop, and you're like, they wouldn't call someone Chop Shop. That'd be too silly, would it?
No, I said too similar. They
No.
wouldn't name two guys something similar.
I'm pretty sure they already have, but no, there is no Chop Shop. No Chop Shop. I've
Well-
got all the Chop Shops: Series 1, Series 2, Series 3, and Legendary, and I think there's another one. I've got that too. I like Chop Chop a lot. He's one of my favorites. He's just like a guy who
Yeah.
is a skeleton with a sword and shield, and it's like, yeah, that's cool.
He was one of my favorites when I was younger. I think he's neat.
Yeah, I think Emerald Heroes gotta go in bad. I hate to say it. It's just if we've described anything today, it's the fact that this could apply to so many characters. Then there's EXO.
Fucking. What? Why? Why is that what it's called?
Because
It's explicitly not Exo with Wolverine. It's in his body.
yeah,
It's expressly not Exo.
that would make more sense if it was Endo, because there are bits of Raiden's cyborgness that's inside him as well. I'm just curious. How does the wiki try to describe it? The title is a prefix that means outside, likely referencing Wolverine and Raiden having a metallic shell. Wolverine doesn't have that. He's got metallic casing around his bones. His bones have an
Yeah.
exoskeleton. That exoskeleton is an endoskeleton. I think that just goes in question mark. Like, that's just like a, huh?
Yeah, I don't. It feels like one of these characters is definitely not being represented here.
Yeah, and I'm gonna put that there. Like the remakes of them. Falcon Uncaged.
I think that's funny.
I think it's funny. I gotta put that in funny. Like, and especially because like Captain Falcon does win, so he does not get caged. Which is a thing that like they say in Mortal Kombat when like Johnny Cage says,
Yeah.
someone, fight like a devil. Really though? Like really?
Fucking.
Can you guess what that is?
Yeah, I don't know. Fight like a devil, because like evil Ryu's not a devil. He's an Oni, if anything.
Yeah, which is closer to a troll. Which is not.
Yeah, it's closer to a troll or an ogre. It's not really a devil. Like, I get the idea here. It's just, nah.
It's again, this one's so generic. Any character with like a devilly motif fits about as well here. Like Nightmare versus Guts fits about as well here. Because I mean, actually, it fits better. Because the Black Beast Nightmare has a devil thing going on. It fits better for Guts Nightmare even. Because Nightmare is a man who fights like a devil when he's possessing someone, and Guts is a guy who fights like a devil. Kinda. You can wrap around to fit better for that. But, like, it fits Galactus Unicron about as well. I guess the fight thing does play into Ryu well, because that's all he do. He is the fight guy.
The only way we can truly communicate is with our fists.
Like, that's his party trick, you know? He walks up, he punches you, and then he leaves. That's the thing. That's what he do. That's what Ryu do.
I like that that's just a socially acceptable thing in Street Fighter. That's just how people fucking greet each other. They just show up, slug you in the mouth, and then they're like, alright, good fight.
I love that in Street Fighter 6, you can just walk up to a random, you walk up to the random guy running a pizza stand, give him a goddamn screw pile driver, and then just beat him up, and then that's okay. That's acceptable. You know, that's fine. You're
like the socially acceptable response to getting your shit folded by a random stranger is a good game.
Literally, all the criminals that go around attacking random people, no one does anything about them. Because it's like, yeah, I mean, are they really that bad? That's what I do. The difference is they wear a cardboard box and television on head. And I think wearing a television on your head and beating someone up, like, that's a feat. That's impressive, you know? Televisions are heavy. It's not gonna, like, be weightless like a card. Even, like, wearing a cardboard box in your head, that's impressive. That thing's sliding around all over the place. There's plenty of points in that fight where the eye holes are not gonna line up with your eyes. I say that's more impressive than the average Joe with, like, just wearing
they do still punish crimes like illegally manufactured boxes, or not boxes, bags. That's the term I'm looking for.
So, anyway, Fight Like a Devil, kind of bad. Kind of bad.
Yep.
Final Breath. They combine Final Fantasy with Breath of the Wild.
Final Breath is also a term.
Yeah, I get it. It's
going to be one of their final breaths.
It's kind of ironic because Link breathes 2 final breaths because he dies twice.
Oh yeah, he does, doesn't he?
And one of those times was literally just Cloud doing an Uno reverse on him, so that's funny. Like, I gotta wonder what was going through Cloud's head. He was like, huh, I can't believe that worked. And then Link comes back and he's like, okay, fine. You know what? I really wanted to do this in the first place. I was a bit disappointed that you died the first time. Alright, here we go. I guess, like, it gets the benefit.
Alright then, let's have it.
It gets the benefit of meaning something. And it has, like, an energy to it, right? Like, it has, like, this... It has an aura, you could say. Which is such a non-tangible way to describe it.
Yeah.
I guess good.
Yeah, good's a word for it.
Yeah.
That's a good descriptor.
I like the art. Like, it's kind of generic in that it's just the Buster Sword in front of, like, the Legend of Zelda logo. But they made it look good. Force and Lightning.
Yeah.
Force and Lightning
fucking...
is kind of like, okay, that's true. This would fit Palpatine versus Xehanort about as well, if we're being honest. Just like with Kakashi, lightning.
What the what is?
Do.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like, you
honestly,
didn't even figure immediately, did you?
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck is Force and Lightning?
It's just
but yeah, I
get
it. I'm trying to think. Surely you could think of something that plays into, like, the tragedy of their arcs, right?
Yeah. And they should have been called Another Happy Death Battle.
Duel of the Failures.
Duel of the Failures. I think it's just boring, though. It honestly kind of almost gets into bad just because of how generic it is. Because Force... Do you have any idea how many goddamn Star Wars characters that fits? Put any Star Wars character against someone who
no, here's a fun little fact for you, is that Force is just a fundamental law of physics that could apply to, like... That applies to every death battle. They have to figure out some sort of force to, you know, calculate shit.
Yeah. I was just thinking...
Have you ever taken a step forward? There was force involved in that.
I'm just thinking, like, even in terms of the Star Wars Force, take any Star Wars character with the Force, let's say Coleman Trebor, and put it against any character who has lightning in their arsenal. Let's say Electro. Coleman Trebor versus Electro. This fits about as well.
I love the way my brain works. I bring this up a lot, but my train of thought is always just the fucking first three things that do not apply or don't make sense. So you said, think of a Star Wars character with the Force. My first three thoughts were General Grievous, Boba Fett, Cad Bane.
Good try. You get the participation award, Don.
Yeah. Like, I don't know why, like, the first things that came to my mind when Force is, alright, who does not have the Force?
I guess Force and Lightning would fit Count Dooku versus Saruman, but it would make more sense because they force, like, their will onto others. Because, like, they are, like, an oppressive force. It's like, it fits better, even.
I think that's just a funny matchup because it's just Christopher Lee as a couple old wizards fighting himself.
Like, it is, like, a genuinely good matchup even if you never watched the Lord of the Rings movies and only read the books and know Saruman from that. It's just funny that after he played one of them, he went and just played, like, the same character, but slightly different.
Saruman the White. Saruman the Stinky.
I know that reference.
Saruman the Wrinkly.
Like, Force and Lightning. Like, I'm trying to think of what, like, death battle character, like, matchups that could probably... Have they done any other matchup that technically would fit that? I guess not. Oh, wait, no, Vader Doom. Vader Doom. That fits Force and Lightning. Like, I was really limiting my options there, and I still found one. Like, Starkiller versus Jack Garland, I think, would fit it, to my knowledge.
Who's Jack Garland?
Final Fantasy. I think that's his name.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Cloud versus Link. Doesn't Link have some, like, electrical weapon or something in his series? Probably.
Yeah, he's got a couple. There's lightning arrows. There's the lightning rod in a few different things.
Telekinesis.
I think it's either like the lightning rod or the lightning
and Cloud
staff.
Has telekinesis, like the Force. So, you know, you could fucking stretch to say that fits. And that doesn't even have a Star Wars character.
You know, NM, you don't have a Star Wars character.
I actually do have Darth Vader, Darth Maul, and 6 Stormtroopers right in front of me. So, like, you're just
but that doesn't prove my point, does it?
Yeah, it does, actually. It proves your point's wrong. Anyway, Force and Lightning.
Fucking next track, shut up.
Fourth is Death Punch. I like this. I don't know why they thought, what was it, Five Finger Death Punch, or whatever. I forget the name of the band exactly, but I think it's them.
Yeah, Five Finger Death Punch.
I don't know why that's the thing they decided to reference, but I think this is just funny.
Well, was it fucking...
It's Goro Machamp. What do you
Five Finger
think
Death
it
Punch?
is?
No, not the matchup. I'm trying to think of the fucking, Five Finger Death Punch.
I don't think they've done anything for Pokemon or Mortal Kombat. I mean, it'd be really funny if they did something for Pokemon, but...
No, I was thinking of, my roommate called me to the living room one day, when we were living back at our old place, and he was like, dude, you gotta see this music video, it's the worst thing I've ever seen, and it's the music video for this, Five Finger Death Punch song called Living the Dream, that is all about just how fucking cringe wearing a mask during the pandemic is. Which
Five Finger Death Punch
did not paint, like, that was the first time other than my friend Drew listened to Five Finger Death Punch, but I had never, like, consumed any of their stuff offhand, and so he showed me this. I'm like, oh well, isn't that a fucking glowing endorsement?
So I think fourth is Death Punch goes in funny, because it's funny.
Yeah, it's funny.
I like the track art. All the fists are the fighting type logo from the trading card game.
Yeah.
Which also gets used a lot for, like, ground and rock types, if I remember correctly. Frozen Fire.
Yep. Is that Zuko Todoroki?
Yep. And, you know, the way it's written on the cover is about as disappointed as I am with the name and the art. Like, I remember when everyone was
Fucking, what is that?
clowning.
Is that supposed to be shaped like the eye?
I remember that when everyone was clowning on this, the big defense was, it's shaped like their scars. And it's like, no, it's actually not. I literally put it over their faces And it's just not. That's just categorically false. If anything, like vaguely triangular or vaguely,
It's vaguely shaped like an eye.
It's literally it's shaped after the heaven piercing ice wall. It's just Todoroki's heaven piercing ice wall, but with fire inside. That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's not shaped like an eye on purpose, because it's just shaped exactly like his attack is, which is shaped that way because it starts from a small epicenter and moves in one direction, constantly expanding outwards in that direction, thus creating a vaguely trapezoid triangular shape. That's why it's shaped like that, and that is how eyes are sometimes drawn. And Frozen Fire, like, that is a name. It makes sense.
Yeah, but it's not a very interesting name.
No. Like, surely there were other names, right?
You'd think so.
Even Blue Fire would have technically fit more. I guess not fit more, but like it would have played more into it. I guess that's not a good name either. And I'm just... It's just boring. It's just boring.
Yeah.
Full Course Will.
I think that's a fair assessment.
I think Full Course Will is more something you can comment on, because you know Sanji well.
Fucking, I get it. Like, Full Course, obviously, because Sanji's the chef. And Will, I assume, is just based on the general willpower that Rock Lee displays. Which isn't, like, the first attribute that comes to mind when I think Rock Lee. I'd think more just, like, hard work. But, like... It's gotta be something else you could do with it. Like, the first thought that comes to mind is trying to mix in something with, like, Konoha Senpu with Sanji's fucking swirly eyebrows. Surely you could make something funny out of that.
Yeah.
Or, like, as much as a lot of people want to make it out of, like, oh, kicks, get it? But I'm like, yeah, but Rock Lee punches and grapples, too. He doesn't just kick.
Yeah.
In some of the movies, he uses weapons.
Actually,
I guess in the manga, he uses weapons, too. He doesn't use
kunai. Rock
kunai.
Lee is not kicking, it's Primary Lotus. That's the first thing that comes to mind with him.
Both of them have got pretty fucked up eyebrows, honestly.
It should have just been the raised eyebrow emoji.
I want to see an edit of The Rock raising his eyebrow, but it's just Rock Lee or Sanji.
That'd be great. Full Course Will, where would you put
Both of them are also hopeless romantics. That's part of their characters. There's a lot of stuff these two have in common that you could have done anything with. Instead, it's
two things
Full
that
Course
only,
Will,
only apply to one each, kinda.
Yeah, like, I don't know. A part of it too was just this track left me like, because when I was like, yeah, this preview animation's looking a little rough. I'm not liking this so far. People are like, oh, but listen to the track. The track is so good. It's so fire. And then I listen to it. I'm like, that's fine.
Yeah, I like the track. But I think
it's all right.
I don't remember how I felt in the moment, but I imagine what I felt was, yeah, that's all right, but it doesn't really sound like it picks up, and that's a concern.
Yeah, like, I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm not a big fan of death battle tracks in general, just by themselves. Like, complimenting the death battle, like, in the course of the video is one thing, where usually it serves that job pretty well. But just in a vacuum, I don't find any of these songs something I'd go out of my way to listen to. That's hence my unfamiliarity with what a lot of these are supposed to even represent, or which ones have how many tracks and whatnot.
Yeah, funnily enough, given how drunk Rock Lee was the most used form, if you could call it that in the episode, you could really just call it food and drink, and it would have made more sense to fit the episode.
Yeah.
Full Course Will, where do you put it?
Put that in bad, honestly. I think if you just told me Full Course Will and we're like, okay, what matchup do you think this is? If Rock Lee versus Sanji wouldn't even be one of the answers. I would never think of it.
Alright, Gods of Destruction. Sailor Galaxia is not a god.
Yeah.
That's my first thought. It fits Beerus shockingly well, given that is literally just the first part of his name, and like most games, he will just be listed in full title, God of Destruction Beerus.
It's like having Phoenix Wright versus Professor Layton and then calling it Defense Attorneys.
Yeah, I mean that would be funny, or just Ace Attorneys.
Yeah. Where it's like, come on.
We're
Come
gonna
on
get Phoenix
now.
Wright versus Makoto Eggy, and the track's going to be called Danganronpas.
No.
What
does the term romper? What is that?
Is a combination
Pants?
of Truth and Bullet.
No, like rompers. What does that refer to? Is that
I don't-
pants?
Don't ask me. I don't know every word.
It's a clothing article of some kind.
Yeah, that doesn't really help here. So Gods of Destruction, not only is it boring, it's just kind of... I'm actually really sad at how many of these are going in the lower tiers. I genuinely thought... I mean, there's so many left. There's got to be a lot that go up high, right? It's got to be. There's got to be. Oh, God.
You'd think so.
Gods of Destruction. Kind of bad, actually. Not good. And, I don't want to make fun of anyone who, like, actually made these names for the episodes. Not judging you. I just think a lot of these names are not great.
I mean, I think whoever comes up with these names usually just comes down to whoever throws in the best suggestion. I don't think there's like a dedicated name come up with person.
I know a lot of the. I know some of these are really good, like some of the more recent ones.
Because some of these are Brandon. I'm pretty sure Jacob came up with the name of one of these. I think he told me.
I think when we get to some of the later ones, there'll be some better ones. Goku versus Superman. That goes in. I don't know if I can put it in bad, just because what the name is meant to be. It's literally just meant
Is the
to
name
be.
just Goku versus Superman?
Yeah, it was the very first track ever.
That's actually what it's called?
Yeah. And the reason it's called that is because this was before track names were a thing. So that's why it's called that. So, can you really judge
fair.
it? I think it just goes in question mark. Not because I'm confused, but because, like, how do you judge it compared to the rest?
Yeah.
Goodbye Chimichanga.
I think that's funny.
I think it's funny. I don't think, like, it would be so easy to rate this as bad, because it doesn't really represent Mask well, but in the context of what the episode is, it's just playing into that. It literally comes across like Wiz and Boomstick were so biased against Deadpool that they went, no, we're calling the track Fuck Off Deadpool. And someone was like, you can't call it that. I'm like, okay, Goodbye Chimichanga. And I'm like, yeah, I'll do.
They're like, yeah, fair enough.
Hearts of Light.
Fucking what? What?
I just want to see if you could guess what that was.
Oh, is that Pit Sora?
Nope. You're
Let me
close.
fucking lean into this. What the fuck am I looking at?
You're looking at a
Is
flashlight.
that supposed to be Yoda Mickey?
Yep. That's Yoda King Mickey.
Why?
Because,
I mean, I get it, like light side of the Force and Heart, Kingdom Heart, and then they use light.
they should have taken Force and Lightning and just cut off the Ning part, so it was just Force and Light.
Yeah.
I think that's just boring. Like, when you
Yeah,
when you know
that's
the
not
characters
doing
well, like,
anything for me.
I think it fits when you know the characters well enough, so it's not, like, super generic in that sense, because it does... No, it's actually really generic. What am I saying? This fits Superman versus, like... This fits Goku versus Superman. Like, they are both very pure-hearted people.
Yeah.
Hell over heaven.
What the fuck? Hold on. Let me...
When you know the matchup, it's going to make a lot of sense. And when you figure it out.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Dio card.
Yeah, that's Dio card.
I actually kind of like this name. It's very clunky. I will not deny that.
It doesn't roll off the tongue very smooth, but I think it does make sense for what the matchup is.
Yeah, Heaven over Hell matches better, but that doesn't really fit thematically.
Yeah.
I want to say it's good though, just because we've been putting so many in the lower tiers, and this is a perfectly fine.
I think good is fair. I think that's an accurate assessment.
Hollow Dreams. Kind of a depressing name.
I mean, I get it.
You know, because
but...
Aizen is a hollow, and Madara wants to put everyone in a dream, and technically, both of their dreams ended up being kind of hollow because nothing happened.
I think Hollow Moon would have, honestly, because I think Hollow Moon sounds kind of cooler. It could be a neat reference to how the moon in Naruto is hollow, and how the moon is part of the Infinite Tsukuyomi plan, and then still play into that hollow part of Aizen, and how, you know, the moon, because it's Las Noches,
Actually,
and
really
how it's
like,
always it's night.
I really like the name that Sky came up with for their track, which was Illusion of Power, because that's a phrase that exists and it does kind of fit.
Yeah,
but I know
I think that also fits. It works.
Sky already used it, so Hollow Dreams I think is there a tier
alright.
I can just put it in fine? I guess boring. It's not boring though. I don't think it's boring. I think it's just like okay.
It's just not really doing that much for me.
I guess I'll put it in good, but like consider it lower end of good. Like it's good enough. Ikari. It's just angry. It's just mad.
Yeah, they're just it's to say angry, mad, it's to say just rage in general, wrathful.
Very miffed.
Which, like, yeah, apt, but
you know, when I open the fridge and I find that someone's put my bread in a different place to where it was before, I feel pretty Ikari, you know.
Watashi wa Ikari desu.
When I open the jar of peanut butter and I find it's empty and no one took a new jar out of the cupboard to replace it, you know, I feel pretty Ikari about that, you know. That makes me Ikari.
Yeah.
When I go to the sushi
Hard
place,
to disagree.
When I go to the sushi place and I find that someone's taken the last salmon avocado roll, oh man, Ikari. Like, it's just kind of generic. I get you could say that with all the one-word titles to an extent, but at least with them there's like a lot that they... Like, you look at Super, which will come up later. Like, it plays into Dragon Ball Super, Superman. They're both pretty damn super. And Super Dragon Ball Heroes. Like, it plays into a lot of things. You look at Mighty, it's literally in their names. The word might is in both of their... I mean, kind of All Might's name, his title. Like, his superhero name. But it plays into their names. It plays into the fact that they are, like, some of the most physically powerful characters in the setting. In terms of just raw power, at least at the time of Might Guy, like, doing the Gate of Death. Like, it plays into that. Even Marvelous, right? Captain Marvel, Marvel, Marvelous. There might be another one I'm just forgetting that's one word. But Ikari is literally just, yeah, they're both mad. You could have named this.
It's in Japanese, get it? Because he's a Japanese character, get it?
Yeah. You could have literally just called it green in Japanese and it would have been about as fitting.
Midori. Midori.
Actually, that still fits. But then everyone would have called it mid. Like as a attempted joke. Actually, I think
more like Midori.
I think I would have liked Midori as a name better because it's just so fucking funny to think about.
Because that's just so fucking nothing.
Or they could have called it Angry if they wanted to fit into the song. Angry.
They could have called it
Raw.
Yeah, just call it Raw.
Arguably, like Ikari fits like any matchup where the characters are miffed. Like, this would fit Kratos Azura, obviously, as an example. There's probably other matchups that this fits characters who would just...
Yeah, but then you couldn't call it fucking... You couldn't call it War of Wrath, could you?
What if they just made Kratos Azura, they just called it Ikaria? Like, they're even more Ikari.
What if they just called it Grr?
Upset.
All banger ideas.
Ikari is just kind of boring, I think.
Yeah.
Like when I think of names that like one word names that people have thought of, they usually got a lot, like a bit more going to them. Like even the like you know the matchup Juggernaut versus Overlord.
Yeah, I'm aware of it.
A popular name for that is just Unstoppable, and like that fits both characters extremely well. Juggernaut's whole thing is you can't stop him when he gets going unless you're Onslaught, and like
Yeah.
one of Overlord's most notable traits is that you can blow half of him up and he'll still keep going at you. Like he's literally reduced to just his head on his cybernetic skeleton, and he just keeps going, kind of like Juggernaut. Which that exact thing happens to Juggernaut too. So that fits. That has a lot more. And while I get anger is a lot to do with Hulk and Broly, not really with the Broly they used. Like he does get really pissed off in the movie, but it's more. I feel like uncontrollable would fit both better.
Yeah.
When using Super Broly, because while he does get pretty pissed off when his dad gets killed by that stray blast, which is what happened.
Oh no, Broly! Someone killed your father.
You know, and his dad just happens to die by complete coincidence. And Broly's too stupid to think that's a tiny little blast instead of him getting vaporized.
It
by
makes
a
me
massive
think of the
explosion.
fucking Eric Andre bit where he turns around and shoots Hannibal. He's like, "Who killed Hannibal?"
It might as well be that. Because like while Broly does get angry and he is pretty pissed off for most of the fight there, I feel like Uncontrollable fits Super Broly more. Like his wrath and his fighting and his like power, he can't manage it. It's too powerful for him. Honestly, Strong would have fit both of these two about as well too. Or daddy issues.
Yeah, you sure could have called it that.
Infection Perfection.
What is that one?
Ultron versus Sigma.
Oh,
You know, because
okay.
like they're the perfect viruses and they infect everything. It like name-wise, it
Yeah.
rolls off the tongue a lot better than Draconic Robotics, which was trying to do the same thing. I think Infection Perfection rolls off better. I think it's fine. Like I think it does fit both of them pretty well. I don't think there's much you could go with. There's a better name for it.
Nothing I can think of.
Yeah, I think it's a good name. I don't know if I call it great, but it's definitely a good name. Kings of Infinity.
Battle for the universe.
I'm trying
let's
so
get
hard not to
brapping.
just put it in funny because that's all I think of with the episode now or with the song now is that it's hilarious.
Pretty funny song, not gonna lie, Wiz.
If the track was called Battle for the Universe, it would go straight and funny. Kings of Infinity, Titans of Infinity technically would have fit better, but that doesn't sound as good.
No, it definitely does not.
Infinite Omega, I guess, would have made more sense, and it would have been kind of funny because it would have worked because like it's kind of an oxymoron of a name because Omega means end, Infinity means there is no end, or there is a countless amount of this thing, which means you will never finish if you try to count it. That's what countless means. I think Kings of Infinity is fine though. Like it's not like. Because, like, you could call it generic, but Infinity is such a, like... The Infinity Gauntlet is the thing that's just associated almost exclusively with Thanos these days.
Pretty much exclusively. May as well
I'd say
be.
it's a good name. It's just kind of, you know, it's on the lower end, like with Hollow Dreams. Kings of Iron.
Wings of Iron. Let's
Kings
see.
of Iron. Not Wings of Iron,
Wait,
Kings
what?
of Iron.
Which one is that?
Geese Heihachi.
Oh, that makes. I guess it's like. I get that it like because it's like King of Iron Fist. That's what Tekken means, but then it's like King of Fighters. But Geese isn't from King of Fighters. He's from Fatal Fury.
No, but every character from Fatal Fury is listed on the Death Battle Wiki as being from King of Fighters instead. Even though every character who's been in King of Fighters and also Death Battle originates from Fatal Fury. I'm pretty sure Terry and Geese are Fatal Fury 1 and Mai Shiranui's Fatal Fury 2.
Yeah, which, like, to be fair, as far as SNK is even concerned, they may as well be King of Fighter characters, but, like, they're not, technically, so
Yeah.
I'm still gonna nitpick about it.
I guess it fits
But,
because like those are the
Well,
names of
ultimately, it's
both
not that
of-
big a deal.
It's less referring to King of Fighters as in like the franchise and more as in the tournament, you know? And the fight literally does start with them at the end of a tournament where they're the final two competitors.
Oh yeah, I guess like the King of Fighters tournament, the Tekken tournament, yeah.
Yeah, so
makes sense.
I think this does work for both. I think it's a good name. It's nothing great, but it's good. Kings of the Sea.
Hold on, let me look.
I think you could have easily called this track Atlantis Rise. And it would have had the same... It would have fit about the same. Like, it fits. Yeah. It's... That's what they is. That's what they do bees. They is that.
Kings of the Sea.
Yeah. They are the Kings of the Sea.
I don't know. I think that one's just boring. I think
Yeah.
that's a solid boring tier.
KO Computer. What?
Which matchup is this?
That is Genos... War Machine.
So that is an unreasonably funny name for... So first of all, computer, does War Machine have an AI in his suit? I do not
No, but
remember.
there is like a... You can have a computer without it being an AI. There is a computer in it, basically. It does compute stuff for
Okay.
it. He's not going to react at the speed of light just because he's a human with that level of reaction speed. It's a computer.
Genos probably computes stuff. I've not only do I think this is kind of a bad matchup to begin with, just because it's like, oh, they are not the main guy and machine parts. Do you get the KO computer reference?
Reference to the Radiohead album. Okay.
Yeah,
Computer.
okay, computer. Good album.
What does it have
And
to do
I
with
like
this?
the play on it. But yeah, what is it?
I think I can put it.
I don't know.
Funny because I think the reason it's called KO is because of the meme where Genos always loses, and the fact that it was. I think it was like a meme at the time, and might still be the whole like Rhodey just gets shot out of the sky by out of nowhere by Vision, which like in the trailer it comes out of nowhere. It's like what? I think that's what it's doing. It's a joke, and it is kind of funny.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Lost Ice Storms.
Mm,
It's kind of clunky, not gonna lie. Kind of clunky. I get it.
yeah,
Lost
not
Ice
gonna
Shell,
lie, it wins.
Ice Storm. I don't know why it's pluralized. There is only one storm here. There is just Ice Storm, whatever it's called. I think that's just what it's called. Ice Storm.
I think so.
But like that's kind of. This one could have been Fight Like the Devil, actually. This one could have easily been called Fight Like a Devil because Ice Devil Slay
Yeah, it could have been.
and the whole devil thing going on with There's Deaths. I forgot what it's called. Like I was gonna say Devil Fruit, but that's a completely different series. That's got nothing to do with it.
Fucking.
It's because like her thing's called, like, a demon
Is what she
extract.
has in Imperial Arms, or is that?
It's called in Japanese like,
Okay.
a demon extract Tegu, something like that. So Fight Like a Devil would have fit this better than Ryu versus Jin.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like just I'm not super feeling it, really.
It doesn't sound good, and it fits both characters. I can't say it's generic because it's literally combining two of their moves.
Mm-hmm.
But this, yeah, it's just kind of eh.
Yeah, kind of meh, kind of meh. Not gonna
They could have
lie.
called it Frozen Time and it would have fit about as well. Madness and Venom, the famous Death Race track.
Kind of boring.
Yeah. It's just like his name is Venom, and Krona do get mad sometime. Like Krona do have madness going on. They are upset and depression. Yeah, it's just boring. Marvelous. See, this is why unlike Ikari, this one does fit.
Mhm.
And I think marvelous as a word does describe Shazam very well. He's pretty marvelous.
I think it fits.
I
Yeah.
think it either goes in good or funny to me. Like, maybe in funny because it's literally just, it's almost like they're admitting this matchup only exists because of their names and the fact the movies are coming out at the same time.
Which is pretty funny.
Yeah, I'm gonna put that in funny. Mega Mania. We've stopped commenting on the track art, by the way.
Oh yeah.
I guess to go, like, Ikari is literally just Broly. It's just Broly on a mountain. That's kind of lame. It looks cool, but like the only Hulk part is some green particles, meaning this whole thing takes place. This track art takes place after Hulk's already dead.
Mm-hmm.
Kings of the Sea.
Infection Perfection's fine. Kings of Infinity looks kind of neat. Not super crazy about it. Kings of Iron, it alright.
It looks good.
Kings of the Sea's kind of boring looking.
Marvelous is just a star with a lightning bolt. That's like, I get it.
I mean, it works. It's a nice shape. It has a nice glow to it. I like the warm colors.
Like ridiculous, but it kind of matches how funny the name is.
Yeah, and then Lost Ice Storm.
It's
whatever.
Flipped fairy tale logo, and it's made of ice. And I think that's like the logo of the Jaegers, which is Esdeath's group. And Madness and Venom is just Ragnarok stuck in some webs.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Mega Mania is the battle royale, right?
Yep. I mean, I guess what else would you call it?
Yeah, it works. I don't mind it.
Mega Men. No, that sounds stupid. Mega Mania works, I guess. Like, there's not much else you could call it. I think it's good. It's all right. Mighty. Oh, and Mega Mania's track cover is just the fucking Mega Buster. So
that's fun. Yeah.
Mighty, I like. I like that name. It's very simple.
Yeah, it's simple. It's to the point. Describes both of them. It's good.
Yeah, and the track art I like the track art. It's a big fucking smile. With the effects on the side representing both characters.
Mm-hmm.
Off Bandicoot I think is kind of funny because it literally just is an off-brand Crash Bandicoot song. Like, it just sounds like a bootleg Crash track. If you listen to it, it's not a battle track. It's just a bootleg Crash Bandicoot track. So, funny. Oh yeah. What else were you gonna call it?
What else would it be?
Like, I feel like I gotta put that in great because that's so obvious. But it's like, that is the perfect name for the track, and the art is kind of funny.
It really is just a case of what else would it be?
Yeah. One Winged Devil it doesn't roll off the tongue well. I get it though. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
When you think about both characters, for Sephiroth is not a devil and Virgil possesses no wings whatsoever. But I get it. There's a lot of just I get it in this video because a lot of this is like, yeah.
You have to be a reference to both of their theme songs and just say fucking Bury the Angel.
Yeah. Actually, Bury the Angel kind of goes hard. That kind of goes harder than One Winged Devil.
I think Bury the Light's just a funny song. It's not a bad song. I don't love it, but I think it is funny.
They could have called it Superstorm.
Ooh, they could have.
I mean, Nova Storm kind of works as a name, but you know, no one's going to immediately associate it with that. Yeah, like it's a case of I get it. I know what it's going for. I understand. At the same time, it's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. I think, like, you'd absolutely know what matchup this was supposed to be.
Yeah, just because One Wing Angel, like, as much as that is just
the track art's neat. I think the summoned swords going through the one wing is neat.
Yeah, if one of them was Sephiroth's sword, that would be really funny. Because it would make up most of the
would.
Okay, speaking of boring, Princesses of Wonder.
That's so boring. That's so fucking boring. And then what is that? Just fucking
That is
She-Ra's
just
sword on top of Wonder Woman's logo.
yeah,
So that's it. That's it.
yeah.
I mean, it fits
Red Winter.
boring content for a boring episode.
See, the thing with Red Winter, it is just combining their names, but I think Red Winter like actually sounds kind of cool. Like the concept of a winter where the snow is all red. It invokes an image in your mind.
You put a hood up on your parka when it's cold.
They could have called this Hood Soldier, which is
fucking
funny.
winter hood. Yeah, hood soldier.
The thing like Red Winter, it brings something to mind, unlike say, like Frozen Fire does too. But it's like the idea of just a fire in ice. Like, okay. And like
I don't know why the first thought that came to my mind when I was thinking of potential alternate track names was fucking Gungeons.
what?
They are back with a vengeance and they wield guns.
Fuck's sake.
So my brain was like, how do I work that together? And so it just fucking mushed them together into Gungeons.
Yeah. I get it.
You don't seem very impressed.
No. I'm smiling. I am smiling. I guess Red Winter also fits because of the whole like Russian thing going on with Winter Soldier.
Hmm.
I think the thing with Red Winter is it's basic, but it does at least invoke an image. I mean, like you think, what image does Lost Ice Storms invokes? You know what that invokes to me? Nothing, because the ice storm's been lost.
Where'd it go? How do you lose a storm?
Very poorly. Like, Red Winter invokes, like, a sort of otherworldly feel, which doesn't really fit the matchup. Like, Red Winter is something I think of a character who, like, literally fucks around with the nature of the world. These are just guys with guns, and one of them's got a metal arm, one of them's got a really strong hat.
Yeah. That's a way to put it, yeah.
I think Hood Soldier would have been really funny though.
You said a really strong hat, and my first thought was Kung Lao.
So where do we put Red Winter? I don't think it is kind of boring, but at least it feels like it could mean something. It's not just a description.
Is there an it all right tier?
I'm gonna make one. I'm gonna make one and just okay. I'm gonna just make it gray because that is a completely okay color, and I'm gonna put Hollow Dreams, and Kings of Iron, and Kings of Infinity in there. I'm gonna put Red Winter in there too. Resident Rising, that is a shit name.
Yep.
Just unambiguous. Like, yeah, okay, it's not generic. But are you fucking kidding me?
This is kind of boring.
Yeah, I guess if they did the other way, you would get Evil Dead, which doesn't is something else and not really associated here.
It would be funnier though.
It would be fun. I would put that in funny if it was Evil Dead, but this is just bad. Like, it sounds clunky, and what image does Resident Rising inspire to you? You know what that makes me think? That makes me think of my neighbor getting up in the morning.
It makes me think of since I work in a fucking retirement home, just one of the residents fucking getting out of bed, being all fucking old.
Help me! I can't get up. That's the sort of image I get. It doesn't really.
I'm getting up.
It doesn't really strike much of like a good image. It's just gonna go in bad. Now, okay, Retro Rivals.
Fucking what? Hold on.
When you know the matchup, it's like, okay, yeah. And when you look at the bloody track art, you're not gonna think it's anything else.
Yeah.
I guess speaking of track art, Resident Rising is a camera in front of some rocket launchers. What am I supposed to say to that?
I get what Resident Rival what Retro Rival's going for, but like, come on.
I think it's okay.
Come on now.
Like, you could call
You
it.
can do it a little better than that.
You could call it boring, but I also get that these are the Retro Rivals. Like, this is them. That's them. That's the one, officer. That's the matchup. That's the retro gaming matchup. As long as you don't do, like, Pong versus Breakout, but, you know, you wouldn't call that retro rivals, you'd call that stick and ball. But,
Do Galaga and Galaxian.
yeah, you wouldn't call that retro rivals, though. That's not the rivalry. The video game rivalry. So I think it's okay. I don't know, I call it good, because you could definitely be a bit more creative than that. But it's okay. Just cause of if it was any other matchup, it would go in bad. To me. Reverse Rosé.
It neat. I don't mind it.
I think this is held back by the fact that Sky already used Rose Reversal, which is a pun on the phrase role reversal, so they couldn't use that.
Mm-hmm.
And A Flash in the Darkness, which is a fitting enough name, was also already used. So Reverse Rosé is like, it's you're not gonna get the matchup wrong. Though I'm pretty sure the reverse of Rosé, the opposite of pink, would just be like a shade of green.
Yeah.
But
It would just
yeah,
be like a lime color.
it's okay. Ride into Hell.
What the fuck? Right into hell.
I don't really get much of Lobo in there.
I guess he does ride.
Yeah, but it's very much Ghost Rider, Hell. Even the logo only vaguely resembles Lobo's bike. But it just as much resembles the Ghost Riders. Probably more so. So, this is an all Ghost Rider track name, track art.
Yeah, honestly.
Would I call it bad, though? Yeah, I would, actually. Because it's
Yeah, I think I definitely would.
Yeah. Satsui no Sekai, which I believe means World of Murder.
Let me double check that.
The track art is literally just Akuma's logo on Shao Kahn's helmet, and everything's on fire but green.
Fucking bad matchup. Not a fan of the episode either.
I think Satsui no Sekai is an okay name. I get at least unlike Ikari, I know why it's like in Japanese, because Satsui no Hado. But,
yeah.
It's an okay name, I think.
Well, hold on. Let me. Yeah, Satsui is something along the lines of like murderous or like killing intent. The Hado part is like a wave motion. It's the same root as Hadoken, which is like wave motion fist.
Yeah.
Satsui no Sekai. So like
I'm pretty sure it translates to World of Murder, or it's trying to translate to World of Murder.
Yeah, I just don't know how well that translates. Hold on. Fucking Jesus Christ.
No, I don't think he has anything to do with this. I don't think he'd be really happy with a World of Murder, honestly. Just kind of the impression I get. I've gone to some of his TED Talks, and he's not a murder guy, you know? He's not up for that. Not a fan.
Says you.
I mean, says him. Pretty sure he saw people committing, like, murders in his name, and he was like, nah, that's not it, bruh. That's not okay.
Yeah, I mean, Satsui no Sekai, yeah, roughly like a world of killing, the world of killing, something like, to that extent.
I think it's an okay name. I get it. Satsui no Hado, Outworld. Mortal Kombat is a world of killing. No one
I just
actually
like when I'm
fucking
trying to
knows.
represent Shao Kahn in a track,
Yeah.
world is not the first thing that comes
At the
to
same
mind.
time, doesn't it make it better that it poorly represents Shao Kahn? I mean, it is Shao Kahn.
I mean, whether or not I like the character, I'd rather it fucking make sense.
Okay, they should have called it "Make Murder Great Again."
Yeah, there you go. Bringing it back around to the fucking five-fingered death punch.
That's such a stupid name. I mean, like, flawless murder, I guess, or the perfect kill. The perfect murder is like a phrase that exists. And like Shao Kahn's whole thing is he says flawless victory in like the 3 games where he's the announcer.
Yeah.
Fumbled kill, I guess, would fit. That fits Shao Kahn pretty well.
Yeah, I'm feeling a boring at best. That's how I feel about it. But if you feel differently, I will not contest.
I mean, you do raise a good point, because world on its own doesn't immediately make you think Outworld. It makes it.
It's just like if you came to me with like Satsuino anything, I might think Satsuino Hado and think, okay, so maybe that's like Ryu or Akuma. But when you come to me with Satsuino Sekai, and it's just like, okay, so World of Killing, it's like, okay, so you've got Akuma versus
Rao,
someone to do with a world, maybe
Akuma versus Rao would
maybe
fit that better, because Rao's like the ruler of everything, right? When he shows up,
Hey,
that's the I'm trying to remember. It's been
he-
a long time.
he's the ruler of the wasteland, kinda. His official title is Ken-O or something like that,
Yeah,
which is just King of
King of
Fists.
Fists.
And then, funnily enough, there's actually I think it's from Street Fighter 4 or something like that. It's either from Street Fighter 4 or Cross Tekken or somewhere around that, where Akuma introduced himself as the King of Fist. I think he also says Ken-O.
I think I guess
So both
I
of them
guess
have introduced
I
themselves
guess
as Ken-O.
Satsuino Ken would fit better for that matchup. Because that would just be like
Yeah.
Fists of Murder. And like, yeah, you know what? That fucking fits both of them pretty damn well.
Yeah, or just fucking Ken-O, since it describes them both and
Yeah.
it's not directly their name.
And also it kind of plays like KO, like what happens at the end of a Street Fighter match. Ironically, unless you use Akuma
Yeah.
and finish it off with the Raging Demon. In which case it does not come up with KO, except in Street Fighter 5, I think, for some reason. Which is, I guess, because they didn't understand the reason that the KO screen doesn't show up is because the opponent's not knocked out at all.
Because Street Fighter 5, and maybe this is a hot take, it's not, isn't great.
No. I've not played much of it, but I just don't have interest. In fact,
It's not my favorite. I don't hate it.
I probably wouldn't have played Street Fighter 6 if Soul didn't gas it up so much. I was like, okay, it's there's got to be something here. And yeah, I think Street Fighter 6 is quite good.
It's fun. It's
Honestly-
not. I'm just not a big fan of drive mechanics. Really, is my thing. I'm not. I don't love how they play.
I guess I've put Setsuino Sekai in bad because, like, you have convinced me. Yeah, it doesn't represent Khan well. It represents Akuma well, and I get it. It doesn't really fit Khan. You're right. Shonen Showdown. That is supremely generic. And the funny thing is that when I think of Shonen Showdown and I think of the big 3, I think of Naruto versus Luffy before Naruto versus Ichigo.
Why is that? Fucking, they couldn't have gone with anything that plays into like their fucking inner demons. That's like the whole reason these are the two that got paired up.
Actually, Naruto versus Goku honestly fits Shonen Showdown more, because that's like the matchup where the only thing they have in common is really their shonens, and they were really popular at like the same time.
Mm-hmm. Like I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not.
I think that's just bad.
Not really feeling that one.
That's not even boring. It's like, and like, how many episodes could that fit? Let's think. There's Deku Asta. Alright, I'm just gonna look at episodes with tracks. How many does it fit? Okay, so
Tanjiro Jonathan.
Tanjiro Jonathan. Technically, Madara
They're
Aizen.
both Shonen Jump, really.
Actually, Madara Aizen exactly because they are literally the same franchise again. Sasuke Hiei,
Mm-hmm. Gogeta.
Vegeta, Gogeta. I was gonna say Beerus Galaxia, but no, Sailor Moon's a shoujo, I think it's called.
Yeah, Shoujo.
Jotaro Kenshiro. I just gotta look at here. Roshi Jiraiya. That's already too many. And I'm just looking at the ones that have original tracks.
Mm-hmm.
Is that all that have original tracks that it fits? I mean, arguably Pokemon, Digimon, but not given the matchup they chose. Is Chainsaw Man it's a shonen, right? And Jujutsu Kaisen?
Yes, they both
feel
run
like- they
under
almost feel
Weekly
like-
Shonen Jump.
Okay, because I felt like they might skirt into seinen territory, but no, okay, then if it's that, that's a shonen showdown.
They have some seinen themes about them, but technically their demographic is shonen because they wouldn't run in
I
Shonen
guess by
Jump
that
if they weren't.
definition, Killer wa Misaka as well. So yeah, there's a handful of tracks
Yeah.
that could have been called Shonen Showdown and would have fit just as well. Shredding Silver.
Shout out Shredding Venom.
I gotta be honest, Shredding Silver is a funny name. Just I didn't click until I just said it just now, but Shredding Silver. What does that mean? How do you shred silver? You're just
It
shredding
doesn't
silver.
mean anything, really.
Like, I mean, I guess it means the process of using a shredder to destroy silver. Which, I mean, if you pull that off, good job. I mean, that's actually a pretty impressive feat to pull that off using a goddamn... I mean, my mind thought of a cheese grater, actually, but... like a paper
I mean, those
shredder.
are referred to as shredders.
But, like, I guess it goes into funny or boring. I'm probably more into boring. But I guess
That's fair.
it did elicit a reaction from me, and I get it. The Shredder, Silver Samurai. I'm gonna put it in funny because it made me laugh. Just like the idea of a guy using a cheese grater on like a sword made of silver, and just be like, why doesn't this work? Why am I just lighting everything on fire? This doesn't make sense. Sirens of
What the deuce?
Sirens of Combat. Now this would rank higher for me if combat was spelled with a K. Instead, it's
But
literally
it's
just
not.
things that scream and fight.
It's just like the fucking who cares?
I think it's just,
Really?
it's boring. Like there aren't. I guess that because screaming attacks aren't nearly as common as a lot of other things. It's not as generic, and sirens does imply females. So you couldn't put this on. I'm trying to think of another screaming-based match like Zebra versus Black Bolt. You wouldn't really call them sirens.
But it's just that this has big, like, this was the first thing we came up with. Fuck it, we have a deadline to meet.
Yeah. Speaking of track names that don't really work, Slingshot.
Ooh.
And I know again we stopped talking about track art. Though in the case of Shonen Showdown, Shredding Silver, and Sirens of Combat, there is nothing to talk about.
Slingshot's supposed to be Meta versus Carolina?
Yes. Now,
Why?
the Death Battle Wiki hilariously tries to justify it with the title could reference how both the Meta and Agent Carolina were slung around by their former boss.
It could, yeah, I guess.
It could. But if you're stretching that much, at least make sure part of the matchup includes like Luffy or something. Bad. This is just a bad name.
Yeah.
Stars of the Universe. I mean, what else was it going to be called, I guess?
Yeah, like, I'm sure you could have, like, come up with some other combination of those things, but ultimately it's going to be at least something resembling that.
I think it's okay. It's just okay. I immediately read Suit Yourself as Shit Yourself.
Yeah, fucking Toiletnator versus Condiment King. That's what that
Um,
one was.
I think "suit yourself" is good. Like, it is a phrase that exists. It is the kind of thing that both characters would say. They do wear suits. It is kind of playing into the fact that this is a matchup where Batman's been given all of his suits for once. It does
Mhm.
work. I don't know if I call it great, but I think it's a good name just because like it fits the characters well. It is a phrase that exists. It is a phrase both would say. It's a play on them using super suits. Yeah,
Yeah, it alright. I will say not a big fan of the track.
I know.
Don't really care for it.
Teenage Morphin Ninja Power. That, I mean, speaking of names that don't roll off the tongue well,
Yeah, that's just fucking.
I want to just put like it. You're never gonna think it's anything other than a
That's
ninja.
gotta be up there as like one of the clunkiest ones.
Yeah, what is its competition? Diabolical Invincible Me, and that's about it. I think that's it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, fucking. I was trying to think about that. I'm like, is that real? It is real. Yeah.
That is an indictment of the name. I think the only thing Teenage Morphin Ninja Power gets is that you're never gonna think it's anything other than a Ninja Turtle Power Rangers matchup. In the same
It
way
would
that
be so funny if it wasn't though.
which I mean, it's the same way if you made Superman versus Thor and you called it a Marvelous Detective comic, like you're never gonna think it's anything other than a Marvel versus DC matchup.
Hmm.
I think it's just a
It would
bad
be
name,
so
though.
funny if it wasn't.
Teenage Morphin Ninja Power and it's tattooed teenage alien fighters from Beverly Hills versus Street Sharks.
Fucking makes me think of the Team Four Star joke where it's like they're thinking of different super teams and then
Oh
they
yeah,
mentioned the Beverly Hills guys and they're
yeah.
like, how is that the one you understood?
The Dark Lords. So generic. Do you know what matchup that is?
Fucking
Without looking at
okay,
the track
Ganon
art.
Dracula.
You looked at the track art.
I did, yeah.
Immediately saw Dracula's castle in
Uh,
front of a moon with a Triforce on it. Even though technically Ganondorf's
Yeah,
only got, it should
fucking
just be a triangle, and that's it, because Ganondorf's only
mhm.
got one. But that wouldn't look as good.
Yeah. I'm not feeling it,
That's
really.
so boring. It's outright bad.
Yeah,
'cause,
that
like, like again, this is one where Xehanort versus Palpatine. Like there you go. That's the Dark Lords. That's them, everyone.
yep. There it is. First draft.
Argu-
Go home, everyone.
Arguably Shao Kahn versus Akuma. They are dark. One of them do be a lord, and Akuma do call himself King of Fist. The Dark Lords. There you go.
All true.
Yeah. Sephiroth versus Virgil, arguably. If you squint. It's just a bad name. Thunder of Wonder. Bad.
Fucking.
Is it any worse than
You may as well
Princess's-
just call it Thunder Woman.
Is it... Actually, that kind of rolls up the tongue well.
It rolls off the tongue better, at least.
I think, is it better or worse than Princesses of Wonder? Because at least this has the Thunder Wonder rhyming thing, while Princesses of Wonder doesn't. And both of them are about equally as generic.
Well, I'll be honest. I don't really like either of them. I think they're both really fucking
I'm gonna put
boring.
Princesses of Wonder in bad because it's so basic. Thunder Shroud. This is a combination of the Thunder Spear and Blake Belladonna's weapon Gamble Shroud.
I just don't associate Mikasa specifically with Thunder Spears that much, if
Yeah.
I'm honest.
The Browning
Like,
Gates
I'm
commission track-
almost certain she does use them, but that's just like,
so does a lot of people. The
yeah, I
Browning Gates-
associate her more with the fucking standard ODM gear.
Yeah, but ODM Shroud doesn't exactly sound great.
No, it doesn't.
The Browning Gates commission track is called Titanic Shadows. Yeah.
I don't really feel that one either, honestly.
I think Thunder Shroud is like, at least it doesn't sound bad. Like you don't say it and go, "Ugh, wait, what did I just say?"
Yeah, it doesn't make you feel fucking gross saying
I think
it.
it's okay. It's okay. It's just like,
That doesn't feel like a very high endorsement, though. That's not like a bar that should need to be cleared.
Look how many are in boring. I mean, you can't tell right now, but bad names is almost up to the third tier. Titans of Magic.
Fucking hold on.
You'll stop
Titans
looking at
of
the track
Magic.
art. I want you to see if you can guess before you look.
I I could not. Raven Twilight.
Yep.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh,
That's what they came up with?
speaking of track art, Thunder of Wonder, arguably the worst one, just of them all. It's Mjolnir but broken.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty bad. If there were ever a track art to fucking spoil the outcome.
Yeah. The only part that represents Wonder Woman is the fact that Thor is probably dead in this situation. And like Thundershroud,
Kinda
okay,
funny.
it's just the big wall, everything's on fire, and there's some weapons in front. Fine, that's alright. Titans of Magic
It's kind of funny though.
is just kind of like, yeah, I mean, Twilight is the element of magic, and Raven is a teen Titan.
It's Teen Titan, and the friendship is magic. The Titan is magic. Come on.
That would have been funny. The thing with them is the reason they match them up is because of their ability to manipulate emotions. Which is, I mean, that is a thing that Twilight can do. I wouldn't say that that's what I would associate her character with. It's, you know, it's like if they put Dr. Fate in a matchup where the main theme was that they both manipulate time. It's like, yeah, I mean, you could do that. Why though?
You could do that, but why? Why would you do that? Why would you do any of that?
Titans of Magic is just boring. I don't think it's bad in the sense that, like, I get why they went with it, and it makes sense, and there's not many matchups that spring to mind because it's so generic that it goes beyond so many matchups can fit it, and more into the realm of how many matchups with magic users can't. Like, Titan is just a phrase to refer to something that's like, oh, it's impressive, you're one of the best in that. Turtle and Toad.
Yeah.
Would you call Turtle and Toad funny?
I'm not laughing, if that's any indicator.
I'm laughing at your reaction, actually, more than the actual name. Turtle and Toad, yeah.
I will say, I like the track art incorporating the kanji that both use. I like that.
Yeah, and I get it, you know, Roshi's the turtle guy. He's got the turtle shell thing going on. And Jiraiya is named after the story with the toad thing.
And he summons a toad and has Toad Sage mode.
So, like, I get it. I think it's almost willing to put it in good just because they didn't go with something about them being perverts. But is that really where you want to get your points? You didn't fuck up. That's your reward.
I'm trying to think what they could have done.
Probably something to do with, like, old masters.
The first word that came to my mind was gallant.
Yeah, gallant I think would have fit. What's a Roshi equivalent to the word gallant? Because my first thought with Roshi in terms of words go old, skilled, and pervert.
My first thought was lecherous.
Yeah, but gallantly lecherous. I mean, I guess that's funny because those words don't go together.
It's also just like really fucking defaming one of them and then like putting the other on a pedestal. Like it's very clearly playing favorites.
Yeah, but I also think that would be kind of funny. Because if we're being honest, if you were to have both characters try to appeal to the person naming the tracks, Jiraiya would do a better job of it. He would have a more convincing argument as to why he's better.
Yeah.
I guess they could have gone with, like, Instinct to play on the whole, like, Ultra Instinct Roshi thing that everyone made jokes about at the time.
They could have.
Yeah, I think Turtle and Toad is just bad. Unlocking Heaven.
I think that's fair. Fucking unlock. Is that Pit Sora?
Yay!
I did it.
Good job, you got one right.
I won.
Congratulations. What do you think of Unlocking Heaven? I think it's a pun. No, it's not even a pun. It's just a joke, I guess. On the fact
Yeah, I mean,
what does a key do? It unlocks things. It also locks things, but that's not really what Sora does with it. He doesn't, like, lock your heart away.
Eh,
I think it's
not really.
boring.
Not really.
Watch
hitting.
out, Samurai.
Is that Jack Afro?
Yep. Yeah, how many other Samurai mashups are there? Like in Death
What
Battle.
is Watch Out a reference to?
Isn't that like Samurai Jack's like theme, something like that? I'm gonna double check. I've got my pad open.
I have no idea. I have not seen either show.
Technically, my iPad is open, so I can check up on the cricket score, but that's not been moving at all. So it's that game is gone, I think. I have written Samurai Mac versus Afro Sack instead of what I'm supposed to be writing.
That's not correct.
No, if there's anything I say I don't want people to draw, it's Samurai McDonald's versus an Afro ball sack.
That means draw it. Add him on Twitter.
No. Yeah, the title is a reference to the Samurai Jack theme song, though the samurai in the title applies to both fighters.
Okay.
It's a bit uncreative, but like I get it.
Yeah, it's not terrible.
I guess it does fit Afro because he's always like watching out in case someone tries to take his headband. So I think it's okay. I think if it was not literally just the Samurai Jack theme, I would put it in good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What's up, Danger?
It feels like
that's
that's like all miles and no static.
It feels like there's like no those that does not flow. What's up, Danger? What's up, Danger? It's like either two people saying different parts, two different parts of a sentence, or someone's name is Danger.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't see when
What Up Danger is just fucking like, hold on. Let me see if there's a specific way. Yeah, What's Up Danger. So obviously it's a reference to the song What's Up Danger, and then it's watts like electricity, but it's like I don't know.
Yeah, and What's Up Danger
I feel like
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse song.
Yeah. It feels like a lot of miles, not a lot of static.
I think it's bad, yeah. Way past Flash.
What does that even mean?
That is the thing.
What does that mean as a statement?
It's saying the Sonic's way past Flash, which is just objectively not true.
He loses.
Yeah, because he just dies. To be fair, though, they did have Sonic winning for a while. So maybe this was written when they thought Sonic won.
I mean, even then, it's a shit name. It doesn't. That doesn't fucking.
Good,
yeah, like what do you mean? Way past Flash.
Weather the elements.
I get it.
I get it. At least it means
because it's like
something.
whether it's elements, it's weathering the elements.
Like it means something, and like that's the thing that you look at the bad ones. How many of these mean something? 100%, that means something. It just doesn't mean anything meaningful. Battle at the Zoo, that means something technically. Devil of the Night, that is a thing. Gods, like it's either it means something or it means nothing that matters. Or it means nothing or it means something that's irrelevant. And whether the elements mean something, and it does mean something that matters. They do weather, they do elements, and Storm does have to weather the elements, which you know, weathering the elements is also just a phrase to mean to handle, like, extreme temperature, like, extreme weather.
Mm-hmm.
So it fits. And, you know, elements...
It works.
It's better than elements of... I'll put it in good. I think... I'm going to throw Korra versus Storm a bone here. I'm going to say its track is... It's got a good name, because it's a play on a phrase. It is technically a pun.
Mm-hmm.
Webbed Wings. This came out before the Webbed Wings became popular through Spider-Man 2. That's the only interesting thing I have to say. Batgirl doesn't have wings, though.
No, but bats do.
Yes. And this was called Batarang Thorax. Like, that would be like the same thing here. Sonar Abdomen.
I think...
Wait, no.
I think you're being a
Spider-Man
bit of a
doesn't have
tsundere. I think that's what's happening here.
That's not me. It's not. That's got to be the weakest "that's not me" you've ever heard.
That's not me.
Webbed Wings is
Not...
boring. I think it's boring. And it might just
Yeah,
be
well,
me,
I'm
but
sure it thinks you're boring, so...
it might just be me, but the track art, as small as it is, it just looks like a bunch of cheese. It looks like a bunch of string cheese with a big batarang in the middle and some webs behind it.
Yeah, I could see it. It makes me think of Charged Stone Cave in Pokemon Black and White, how it's got the Galvantula webs on it that you gotta get clay to remove.
Neat. I like Galvantula.
Galvantula's cool. I think that's a good name, too.
Is it the best spider Pokemon? I think its only competition is Araquanid.
It's my favorite.
I don't think Ariados or Spidops are really putting up much of a fight here.
Galvantula is definitely my favorite one, if nothing else.
Widow's Kiss. Now I want to point out that Widow's Kiss is a cocktail that was made by an American, but it does use French liquors in it, I believe. So the pun kind of works, if that's what they were meaning at all. It might just be that I know what a Widow's Kiss is. And they do.
I don't drink alcohol, so I don't. That doesn't mean anything to me.
Yeah, well, you can't drink alcohol.
I mean, that doesn't stop most of this nation.
I mean, like, not because you're too young.
Yeah, well, I mean, I am too young. I'm 20, but...
Not too young down here, but... I guess, don't they also have weapons called Widow's Kiss? And they both... It's Black Widow and Widowmaker? And
I think Black Widow's weapon is, they're called, like, Widow Bites or something like that.
Yeah, but, like, Widow's Hickey doesn't exactly sound great. I get that Kiss, because, like, some people, like, will like, refer to, like, a hit on some, like, shooting someone as, like, a kiss, like, the kiss of death sort of thing. Mm-hmm. I think it's an okay name. Like, there's nothing, like, inherently wrong with it. It's a bit bland if you don't, like, know what all the stuff it's referencing. But if you do, it goes from a bit bland to a bit bland, but it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Wings of Iron. Neither of them have wings. And
neither of them have wings, and yeah, technically neither of them are iron.
Yeah, one's made of Gundanium and one's made of Cybertronian metals. I guess it does sound like,
he's made of Transformer.
Transformium is a thing, but it does not refer to what Transformers are made of, technically.
What is Transformium?
Transformium's like a material made out of what Transformers are made of in Age of Extinction. It's like a programmable
So that
matter.
sounds like what Transformers are made of, then.
No, but it's like it's altered to become programmable matter that humans can control. So it's inherently different. It's like how, like, steel has iron in it, but steel is not iron.
Yeah, okay, buddy.
Wings of Iron, like, it sounds neat. Like, at least it sounds like something. It's more, I guess, symbolic than anything, like, literal, but I'm trying to get past my
Yeah.
bias, because this is my favorite track of Death Battles.
I mean, yeah, it's a good track, but it's just like
Which, I mean, coming from you does mean something.
yeah, I do like Wings of Iron. I think
it
captures
the
captures the vibe well.
It does represent it does benefit from the fact that it sounds like a song. Like, you could listen to it and you wouldn't immediately think that that something's up. Like, this is a backing to something else.
It makes me think the fucking weirdest thing happened. I was watching a video from a YouTuber I like called Just Stop.
I
remember. And yeah, he I forget what the fuck he was talking about. He was reviewing Blades? No, I don't remember what he was reviewing. It was Jailhouse Rocket was playing in the background. And I was on a trip and I was hanging out with Galactic Attorney, and he had played Jailhouse Rocket on that trip like fucking 40 gorgillion times. And so I thought I was just going crazy and hearing shit because I had heard that song so many times while we were there. And so I had to send the video to him, and I'm like, can you confirm that this is Jailhouse Rocket playing in the background of this video? And sure enough, it was. What the fuck was he? I do not remember for the life of me what the video was about.
Your first thought was to message me and go, holy shit, Nem, listen to this. I got a story for you, Nem.
Yeah.
So Wings of Iron...
You'll never believe it.
I think what Wings of Iron, like, the benefit I'll give it is that the name sounds like something. We're at that point, aren't we? Like, I think it's more, like, symbolic than anything of, like, heroism, which does fit Prime well. I don't know Amuro particularly great. I hear he was not super in character in the episode because he was acting a bit more like shonen meathead than what he's supposed to be, but I think it's an okay name. I think as a name it's okay.
Yeah, it's alright.
Winter Sonata.
Who? Is that Weiss Mitsuru?
Mm-hmm. A sonata is a composition which involves like one person, like a single person doing the instrumental, I believe.
Like Moonlight Sonata. That's a good song.
My thought was a band called Sonata Arctica. But yes, I mean Sonata Arctica would have fit as a name here because Arctica, Arctic. But Winter Sonata I think works as, at least it's like, it means something. It's not just mashing names together. And it fits both characters. Like, Winter fits both. They both use ice. I don't know if Sonata fits Mitsuru, but Weiss is a soloist when it comes to performing music. She does go solo in universe. Like, obviously, in the episodes, there is music accompanying her, but in universe, she's just singing like an opera. Except the one time where it just hard cuts to her singing a song that amounts to "fuck you, dad, you suck, and I hate you" right in front of him, and he just doesn't react. That's a little funny. But if it fits Mitsuru, I'd say it's actually a really good name. But I don't know Mitsuru well enough to say for sure it does. Have you played her game?
I played a little bit of Persona 3, but it has been a very long time. I am mostly familiar with Persona 4 and 5.
Yeah. I think it's a good name. Because like, it does like mean something, and what it means is relevant to the characters, and it sounds fine. It doesn't sound like something that makes you want to gag when you say it out loud.
I hear fucking creatures crawling around in the vents and the walls.
It's the people who come up with these. No, joke. That's gag. Whiz and Boomstick.
Yeah.
I guess I gotta put that in great, because like that is the perfect name for the track that represents Death Battle's main theme. Because the alternative was Death Battle main theme, or just Death Battle. I don't know why the back of
Yeah.
the like track art has a cum shot. I'm not sure what's up with that, but
Yeah, I don't know why it's come.
like, why is that not red? Why couldn't they just have Wiz and Boomstick's names in black? Carnage Chorus Remastered. Wait a minute. Just put those in question marks, because I don't even know how you could measure, like, judge them. Stronger Together.
Yeah, I think it fits the theme of both shows generally.
I
I
actually
think it
think
gets the point
I think
across.
it's quite good, actually, because, like, the alternative would be, like, Power Force. Which probably sounds a bit cooler if you say it the right way, but I don't think Stronger Together is a really good name. Like, just because it fits, like, the main deal with the matchup, and it does feel like the sort
The
of
first thing that
both
came to my
teams-
mind was Go Go Lion.
Okay. Good for you. Dragons
Which,
and
to be
Dumplings.
fair, Go Lion and Voltron are technically two different things.
Yes, they are. So Dragons and Dumplings.
That's funny.
I think it's funny. I want to point out that when you said Go Lion, my first thought was actually Galleon.
Well, yeah, but that's not what I said.
Like the Brave series mech. The one that becomes
Yeah.
Gal Gaigar. Anyway, Dragons and Dumplings,
Yeah.
that's pretty funny. Marvel... Oh, wait. A strange... Okay. Breathless Blades.
What the fuck? That's Tanjiro Jonathan. I remember that one.
It's amusing.
Uh, if there's one thing that these guys are not, it's breathless.
Yeah, that's what makes it kind of funny, because it's like, that kind of missed the mark on this. That would be like calling it Darkness Blades. It's like, that's the opposite of what they do. Also, like...
But at the same time,
Jonathan's more of a punchy guy than a blade guy, if I'm being honest.
At the same time, like, Breathful Blades just doesn't... It's not
Yeah.
much anything, is it?
Yeah, it's not... doesn't mean much. You gotta be able to think of something better, right?
Surely.
Yeah. I mean, back in the day, if this was a possible matchup to do, like 5 years back, 6, 7 years back, they probably would have called it Demon Slayers. So this is better. I don't know what to think of Breathless. Like, is there a better alternative? I don't know Tanjiro super well.
Well, first of all, Tanjiro.
I don't give a shit. If I say Tanjiro,
Second
it
of all-
upsets Raymond, and that's a plus to me.
That is funny. I'm trying to just fucking think. I can't think of anything that's like super relevant. I'm trying to think. I am also on fucking 3 a.m. brain, so
My thought was to
but
tie
fucking-
something into Destiny of the Blood. Or Sonochi no Sadame. Because they use a lot of that in the actual track itself. I don't know, Breathless Blades.
Yeah.
I don't think it's bad, because, like, at least there is I get it, right? I think it's just an okay name. If only because I can't think of anything better right now. Mad Laugh Riot.
Mhm. That fucking
Doesn't sound good.
I'm not a fan.
It doesn't sound good. I mean, bad. Princess of Pride.
I don't mind it.
I think,
It's alright.
at the very least, it's amusing. I think, like, yeah, okay. My only problem is that, like...
It gets the point across.
I would put it in okay, because Thor's been, like, a king for, like, the last decade now in the comics, to my knowledge. Or I'm getting that wrong, but a few years at least,
it's been
right?
quite a while.
Spellaholics Synonymous.
Fucking what? Hold
It's a
on.
pun, right? Because spells, and spelling, Zatanna's whole thing is words, and synonymous synonyms, and they're synonymous with
Okay.
spells. I think it's amusing. If anything,
It's
because
amusing, but
for
like,
the name that for a track with a character like Zatanna, they chose something that is weird to say. So I think it's funny. I think it's funny, whether they intended it or not. You have failed this city. To be honest,
that's just
bad,
like
because it's literally
that
that's
sounds like a statement.
it's a thing that Green Arrow says in the show Arrow in the first season. It has nothing to do with Hawkeye. Bad.
Yeah, that's bad,
Speaking
and also
of
just
bad,
like
speaking of
it's
track
kind of
art, this
sad.
track art depicts Green Arrow and Bullseye.
And Bullseye.
That's not Hawkeye in that thumbnail.
Hold on, I'm trying to fucking find it, but I'm a small blind rat.
Thought you were a ghost.
Is that not Hawkeye?
Nope. Green Arrow, Hawkeye, Leonardo, Jason, and Batman, Iron Man, I think are the episodes where the wrong character's in the thumbnail. There might be another one. I think there might be another one. I'm just not remembering which one it is. But that's Bullseye. It's a different character turned into the Red Ranger, the Dino Red Ranger.
So what is
And it's Nightwing in the Batman Iron Man thumbnail. And the alternate thumbnail has a different guy who's not Tony Stark in it against Bruce.
I assume
Ant-Man
Jason's image is actually like Rocky.
I think it's the Mega. Is it Megaforce? The not Captain Marvelous.
Oh yeah, yeah, that checks out.
And Ant-Man Adam has Scott Lang on the thumbnail instead of Hank Pym.
That's funny.
Yeah. So Diabolical Despicable Me. Or fuck. Diabolical Invincible Me. Why did I go to Despicable? This is a bad name.
Why is me in here at all? That's what I think every time too. I think Despicable Me, and I'm always like, Gru Megamind? That hasn't happened.
Diabolical Despicable Me would be a very good name for Gru Megamind, because they are the kind of people to come up with a clunky name like that to try and sound cool. Like, it would kind of be great in that context. Because they would be the guys that think, Diabolical Despicable Me, that's a great name! I'd be like, that's great! But no, Diabolical Invincible
Why do they sound
Me-
like the dude that throws fish from the fucking Muppets?
Why don't you shut the fuck up and agree that Diabolical Invincible Me is just a bad name?
It is a bad name, I agree.
You know what's funny? During the waiting period, everyone thought the name would be Never Meet Your Heroes. And, like, that would be a very good name. Because that's the whole fucking thing with them. That would go into great tier, I think, because that's a perfect name. Because it fits the whole vibe.
Yeah.
Speaking of names that could be good, Ego Death.
That's Magneto Tetsuo, right?
Yes. Now, a ego death, to those who don't know, is like a phrase to refer to a loss of, like, self-identity. It's like a Jungian psychology thing. Or no, it's not. It's synonymous in Jungian psychology with psychic death, I think. It's like when you break down and, like, your ego's gone. Like, what you think of the world, why you think you're so good. It means actually a lot of things, now that I think about it.
Mm-hmm.
You feel disconnected. You feel your whole, like, perspective of things is broken. It fits Tetsuo. Because he kind of loses it. You know, he kind of goes a little bit, quirky. When he becomes that big baby thing. Does it fit Magneto?
Yeah, quirky's a word for it.
Magneto is the question. Does it really fit him? Because, like, yes, Magneto has an ego, and
He has a face turn, but I don't know about an ego death.
I think it's an okay name because it inspires, like, an idea in your head. It makes you think. about the match, about the characters, but it really only works for Tetsuo. It only kind of works for Magneto, like very kind of, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Hero's Journey. Boring.
Is that Herkong?
Yep. It's funny, it went from Ego Death to Hero's Journey, and like, an Ego Death is often like part of a hero's journey. I don't know if I think either. I mean, Tsunemon kind of had a hero's journey, like the classical story. I don't know if Heracles did. He kind of just like is good, and then something bad happens, then he does some shit. I don't know. Hero's journey.
It's more like a hero's journey than just like kind of a adventure.
It's just kind of like boring. I think it's very generic and doesn't really fit. I don't think.
Because at least from my understanding of Journey to the West, a hero's journey doesn't sound like an inaccurate description, because there is like he does go through growth.
Yeah, but like most of that technically happens before the Journey to the West, because like that's after he's like gone through the imprisonment.
Oh yeah, I guess you are right about that.
The Metal Lotus. The Metal Lotus. The only one. There ain't any other.
Metal Lotus. Fucking hold on, let me.
Oh my god.
Where the hell am I? Okay.
America.
I'm sure Lotus is a reference to something to do with.
Yeah, it's a Warframe thing.
Warframe, that's what it's called. That I just don't know about.
Oh, it's an okay name. Like, is it though? It's kind of boring actually. The more I think about it, it's like it's the Metal Lotus, sure. If it bleeds.
If it bleeds, that's Boba Predator?
Yep. I think what I like about this is that it kind of fits into like it you finish off the phrase, right? Most people know the phrase, if it bleeds, X can kill it. You know, I can kill it, we can kill it, that certain group can kill it. You kind of finish it off yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And it does fit both characters. It fits Boba Fett and the entire Yautja race that they used.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's good. I think it's a better name than it is a track.
Yeah.
But as a track, it's kind of dog shit. Fallen Gods. Not really.
Yeah, not
As
not
funny
really.
If this track was called Punch the Best, it would go in the top tier. I'd make a new tier just for it, but I think
absolutely.
Fallen Gods is just kind of, it doesn't really fit here. I don't think either have fallen. Like, especially Black Adam, who's still worshipped by his people.
Yeah.
It should be like God and guy that a lot of people like and a lot of people also don't. Which would roll off the tongue supremely well.
It's so funny how much Apocalypse is kind of just blue Thanos.
I mean, he's going through like a character arc. I don't know if he's still going through it, but like he was like a pretty decent guy when this episode actually came out.
Oh.
But I feel like saying they fell from grace, or they fell from the heavens, or they're no longer worshipped. You could argue for Apocalypse.
They fell off.
But I think it's just sort of a. I wouldn't say it's bad because I know what it's going for, but I would say it's just kind of boring. It doesn't really fit. Hedge of Tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like this name.
I like that one.
I like it. Edge of Tomorrow. It's a common
neat
phrase. Hedge, pun. Doesn't Trunks have like a theme song or some like associated song that has tomorrow in the name? Like tomorrow, I think is a word I've heard associated with Trunks before.
I'm sure, because he's from the future.
Yeah, he's from the future.
He's from a future.
Yeah, like like Edge of Tomorrow is like a phrase that people use, and also it's a movie, but that's not important. And doesn't Live and Learn have like a lyric that's like hanging on the edge of tomorrow?
Yeah, hanging on. Yeah, live and learn,
Hanging on
hanging
the
on the edge of tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna put that in great. Like when more you think about it, that's actually a really good name, and it is the pun they use is the kind of thing that I would imagine both characters kind of laughing at, thinking is like the funniest thing ever.
Yeah, I can imagine it more so because like Silver definitely. Trunks, he's a
Inside,
lot more of a dork in the anime, but in and like in Super as well, they definitely play up
right?
his like I
In
guess
Xenoverse, he's more like
loser-ish,
in
but like
Xenoverse, he's more comically serious. That he takes
oh,
everything seriously.
Xenotrunks is a complete fucking dork, not on
He is a
purpose, but
failure, and that's really like he takes everything seriously, and yet he still fucks up all the time, and that's really funny. I just think, at very least, on the inside, Chunks is thinking that was a banger joke. That was so fucking funny.
like it's just so hard, especially reading the Z manga, to shake this feeling that like Trunks is fucking baby's first Dragon Ball OC of like, oh, he's the son of Bulma and Vegeta, and he's from the future,
I
and
can
also a
definitely
Super
see that.
Saiyan, and he comes in and kills Frieza, and he saves Goku, and they're best friends.
Which makes it funny when
Uh,
he then
and
proceeds
it's
to
like,
fuck everything up.
because it's like Team Four Star does a pretty decent job with like, I guess, emphasizing more of the I guess stress that Trunks would be going through dealing with this shit he has to deal with how our Z fighters are. But I don't know. Without that satire around, Trunks just feels kind of dry. He feels like he's a little socially awkward, but it's not like I don't know. It's not as present as it is in a lot
Hmm.
of media for him. I wish he was a little more interesting in the manga.
Yeah. So, one king to rule them all. Now, when this episode was
I
announced,
like it.
I wanted it to just be called "To Rule Them All" because I thought they're leaving that the it would just be too long with it in, and I still think it's a bit long. But like that is about the perfect name. Like it fits. It is the phrase. It is the Lich King. It's not the Lich Peasant. It's not the Lich fucking Baker. It's the Lich King.
The Lich King, not the Witch King, not not Soundwave.
No, it's not Soundwave. Ocean Men.
I mean, yeah, I get it.
It's
It's
okay.
an apt name,
I it
but
it's okay because at least it's going for funny, but it doesn't work for me. It doesn't make me go, ha, it's funny. Strongest Alive.
fucking hold on.
That is
Strongest alive. What the fuck is that supposed to be?
so that's a hand holding up a book with some black swords coming out and a bunch of lights.
Oh, I see. Eh, that's
I think
kind of really boring.
it's just generic. Which, to be fair, one of the characters is Deku. I pissed off so many people by saying that.
Like if you gave me strongest alive in a vacuum, which you did, even without like even with the context that that is a death battle, Deku Asta's just not very high on the list of where I would have thought of
What
that.
did you think of like Goku Superman?
I would have thought of like, I mean, the first thoughts would be like Hulk Doomsday. Well, that didn't have a track. Hulk Broly, fucking Goku Superman.
Thor Vegeta.
Yeah, Thor Jada. Like, there's
Honestly,
a lot of other matchups this could
Omni
apply to because just
Omni Man Homelander. Honestly,
yeah,
as ironic as it is,
like that's
given
just such a fucking nebulous term.
yeah, I think it's just bad because it's so generic. Like, it works in the context of the song because in the song it's them saying they will be the strongest alive. I don't know if that really works in terms of like a title though.
Deku's not even aiming to be the strongest. He just wants to fucking be the best hero he can be. Helping people does not
Yeah.
necessarily mean strength. Look at Mirio.
Yeah, like Mirio's got a shit quirk according to himself, but he managed to make it work.
Hmm.
And that's why he's
Or
one of
like
the- one
even
of
for
the
that
best.
matter, Endeavor's pretty strong, but Endeavor is demonstrably not the strongest guy around, but he's still the number one hero.
Yeah. We look at the strongest characters in Class 1A. While Deku is the strongest one, the next strongest are Bakugo and Todoroki. And while they are aiming to be heroes, they don't exactly give off hero energy. Like Bakugo's an asshole, and Todoroki just never smiles ever. He's just always kind of displeased, and like that doesn't really. Neither of them really give off hero's energy.
Todoroki gives off the same vibes as like that teenager who's been called to his grandma's house to help her move some furniture because she's old.
Yeah. All right.
And he's like, "All right, grandma."
Secret Service.
Fucking hold on.
I'm glad it's not Secret Services.
Secret.
Like Secret Services would be a
Oh, okay.
bad name, but I get with Secret Service it could be like this. What they're doing is a Secret Service. They're servicing someone and it's a secret. You know, hitman.
I mean,
sort of thing, spy job.
James Bond is a spy, and John Wick used to be Commando.
Yeah. So it fits. I think it's okay. That S would have ruined it, because then it would have gone from something you can interpret as...
All right, now let me posit my idea for a better track name. Stairfall.
Yeah, I like that.
What do you think?
I think claps. I think that's great. Skyfall, John Wick falling down the stairs. Yeah. Perfect.
He falls down the stairs so many fucking times in that movie. I don't know what the angle was there. Why did they do that?
The angle was downwards and on a diagonal.
Fucking shut up.
Thank God it's Halloween. I get it. Yeah, I get it.
I don't.
Okay, do you want me to explain?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Oh, I get it.
Oh.
TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. I get it.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it's Halloween.
It clicked. I got there.
Yeah, but it's Halloween. I was like literally about to gear up to explain it. I was like, it's because thank God it's Friday by Ice Nine Kills, I think. But it's Halloween now.
I mean, thank God it's Friday. It's
And
just a
it's
common
also
term.
it's a
But
common
people
term,
just say
but,
that a
like,
lot.
It's definitely more connected to that song because like that's a song about Friday the 13th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I know about Ice Nine Kills. A coworker of mine listens to them.
I thought you were gonna say that Ice Nine Kills were co-workers of yours. I think that as a track name, it's okay. It's all right. Yeah. At least it's memorable and like it's kind of ironic in the sense like thank God it's Halloween. It's not what you're thinking in this situation.
Yeah, nobody would be thinking that.
I think it's either good or okay. I'm debating which
I
one.
think
it
it's
is.
okay.
I think it's okay. Yeah. Dragon Dance. Only one of them dances.
I mean, there's just no like Dragon is both of them because Dragon Ball, but like Dance is only one of them. It feels like it's all Gogeta, no
They
Vegeta.
could have called this like Better Together or something.
Well, that would be too close to Stronger Together.
They have Wings of Iron and Kings of Iron.
Yeah, but I'm sure that was meant as just like a reference as well.
No, I don't know if there was any reference intended there. I think Dragon
As
Dance...
weird as it would be to fucking reference fucking Gisei Hachi back to Optimus Gundam.
I think Dragon Dance is a boring name because it's like,
Yeah.
if anything, like this is like I'd expect for like a Zuko matchup would have something like this. Stronger Together again.
Yeah, I could see it.
Fireborn.
Yeah, I think
I
that's
like it.
fair. Because you know, fucking Dark Souls shit, born from the first flame, the Dragonborn.
Yeah, all the camp,
It works.
all the fires that you that you use in Dark Souls,
Mm-hmm.
and bonfires and shit. I think that's a pretty good name. That's pretty good. Not actual size.
I think it's a funny name.
I think it's amusing.
I think it's
yeah.
kind of funny.
It's I'm willing to call it amusing. Jailhouse Rocket. I actually really like Jailhouse Rocket.
Yeah, I like
Like,
that name a lot.
Jailhouse Rocket Raccoon. The fact they were both prisoners originally, like they were like in prison and stuff. I think that's a great name. I don't think I've seen. I did not see a single better name. During the entire way, no one came up with anything as good. And when I saw it, I was like, that's fantastic. And people were like, I don't get it. Isn't it just an Elvis reference? It's like, yeah, it is. But also,
Lilo and Stitch has so much Elvis in it.
did you not know? Not only does Elvis feel like the kind of thing Star-Lord probably would listen to, which fits like the whole like the way the MCU did him, but also they literally start off in a jailhouse basically. I mean, at least Rocket does. Stitch starts off like in prison, not even necessarily in a jailhouse, but he starts off imprisoned in the movie. Forevermore.
I mean, there's also just, if you've seen the movie, you'd know he loves Elvis.
Yeah. Forevermore, I think is a good name. It plays on, quote, the Raven Nevermore, and also the fact that their Phoenix is eternal and cyclical. I think it's a good name. I think it very well fits the characters. I think it's good. It's very good.
No complaints here.
That's No Moon. I love this name. Like, not only do I think it's funny, but it does work with the characters.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly want to put it in great just because I accurately guessed that this would be the name when the episode was announced.
Fair enough, if that's what you want to do.
God's Hand.
You'd alright.
Now, I'm sure there's a Dimitri reference in there somewhere, but the God Hand is just a thing in Berserk. That is
I'm sure.
A bunch of assholes.
I'm sure there's something just flying over our heads.
Yeah, I think that's okay. Now, we have two Bowser Ganons here, and I guess we have to decide what it... I mean, they're both bad names, though. The first one is Blood on Broken Glass.
I don't get it.
It's bad. The other is Olympus Mons, which is a place that has nothing to do with either of them. They are not Olympians. They aren't even gods. Ganondorf is, at best, the leftover implication of a god that once existed and is now dead. One that met his demise.
I was gonna say he's like Iranian. He's like Middle Eastern.
I'm gonna say that this is also bad. I am all of Mewtwo. What did you have to say about this earlier in the video?
Fucking, it's I am all of me, and then you just throw the other guy into it. Like, it...
To be fair, it is a little funny.
Like, come on.
It is funny just how... Like,
it's a little funny, but it's like, come on.
Alright, Goku vs. Superman 2, that also goes in... That one goes in the same category as the first one. Not because they hadn't... I mean, they...
That's not what it's fucking called, is it?
Yeah, because it's literally just like the follow-up song to the original. It's literally just called that for the same reason the first one. Like, it's before they had names. The only name at this point was the concurrently released Alive, which doesn't really fit. I think this is just a question mark situation. What is not, because at this point multiple songs had names, was when Pokemon vs. Digimon came out, and they gave us Pokemon vs. Digimon mashup theme.
Fucking actually?
Yeah. There is no name. Alright, Mind Over Matter. I like this one.
Yeah. I think it works.
I think it's really good. Bordering on great. It's a very solid name. Discordant Decipher. Doesn't sound good.
It doesn't roll off the tongue very well, but I definitely do like it a lot more than fucking, like, I don't know. I heard a bunch of them that were just fucking some amalgamation of Gravity Falls and Friendship is Magic.
Well, the original Brandon Yates commission before the episode was called Deciphering Discord, which is probably what this is referencing. And Deciphering Discord makes more sense. I feel like Discordant Cipher makes more sense than Discordant Decipher.
If left to me, I probably would have just went with Friendship is Madness.
Yeah, that also works. I think Discordant Decipher just kind of goes in... It's okay. It's okay. Because I guess it not making much sense does kind of fit. Inhuman in square brackets.
Checks out. It's all right.
I think it's good. I think it can't say it's just okay because like yeah, it makes sense. They did the little extra embellishment in the little square brackets for some reason. So for some reason, because that's how Prototype wrote it name. Okay. Change X of X Heart.
Yeah, I get it because Hunter x Hunter, and then this is the one that I believe Jacob said that he came up with it, or at the very least, like revised it.
I like it.
The idea being that it's a change of heart. You
And
got
also
Killua pulling the guy's heart out. You got
spare
the change because it's a coin. I think it's clever. I think it's a good job. Shout out Jukum.
I don't remember what it was, but I remember when during the waiting period when everyone was throwing out names, I threw out 2 possible names, and they were the only ones that Big Speedy went, okay, that's actually not bad. I was the only one, and I know neither character. I just went with like puns, electricity, money, and stuff, and it is better than the people who knew the characters what they could come up with. So, shout out to Big Speedy, by the way. The community needs to treat you better. Change of heart. That's a great name. Final Formers. It's funny. I get it.
Yeah.
Transformers Final Form. Megatron
I like it.
Have one, but I think it goes in funny. It's amusing. It's on the hug. This isn't even my Final Form meme. Yeah. Who wears the crown? Based on the phrase "heavy is the head that wears the crown."
Fucking which matchup is this? Hold on.
Think about eyeballs.
Oh, okay. That checks out. I think that works, especially because both of their arcs are about, not having an equal and how much that kind of sucks.
I'm gonna leave it to you. I would put it in good because I don't know the characters well, but you do. Would you put it in good or great? Because it's very creative. It's very different and better than anything anyone else can.
I would put it in good because while it does represent the theme pretty well, it doesn't quite it represents the theme very well, but I think it could apply to a lot of other matchups. I think it could, like, obviously I don't know exactly how you would work it in, but it doesn't work in like specifically JJK or Chainsaw Man.
We have the last 4 starting with Forever Terror Knight.
I mean, good song. I like that one.
I think it's played off of It's Terror Time Again. Like the
yeah, which also good song from Zombie Island, and I fucking loved that movie. That was one of my favorite movies growing up. I absolutely loved that one.
I gotta put it in good because, and this was admitted as intentional. The reason Forever's in the name is because is a fight that never ends. They will never kill each other. It'll go on forever if they fight to the death and never stop. So it is literally referencing the result of the matchup, but in like a way that's kind of clever. Wubba Wubba Alonzi.
Wubba Wubba Alonzi. I mean, it's just their catchphrase. It's fucking slapdash together.
I would like it more if it was like actually written the way most people say it, because most people call it Wubba Lubba Lonzi, but it's actually Wubba Lubba Alonzi, which does not sound nearly as well flowing.
It's just it don't quite hit.
I think it's bad, honestly. Just because the way it's written makes it clear it's not pronounced the way people pronounce it. Super.
Yeah. Fuck. What? Oh, yes.
Asking
I like that
Super
one.
I think Super is a good name. It's one of the very simple
fucking
ones.
It's almost 4 a.m. Give me a break.
And then finally, All Consuming. That is good.
I mean, apt.
Given like the recurring theme in the analysis, I would have thought they'd call it "What is Evil" or something of that nature, or the nature of evil. But All Consuming, that works. It's good. And that's the tier list. I'm actually a little surprised. Honestly, I thought most things would have been going in good. That is not how this unfolded. This unfolded in a different direction to what I thought. Yeah.
That's the video, everybody.
Yeah, if you disagree, that's fine.
I thought you were gonna say if you disagree, fuck yourself.